yes! We have returned! Swear to God, dude. I feel like we should be sitting here in Bane masks.
Right?
That fucking meme where it's like, Bane, the fucking shut down the sporting events, wore a mask, all problems were caused by a bat. He was right. Oh, yes!
Oh, shit, yeah.
Oh, my God. So fucking crazy.
Potentially might be the last one we ever do. Like,
no.
At this rate.
I will be a ghost and still do this podcast.
Be like, we'll be the start of the underground radio scene.
Yeah,
here.
yeah. Once the apocalypse happens.
Yeah.
Fucking,
well,
it will never stop. But in fairness, though, last week, both you and I were a little ill. That's why we didn't have a new episode last week.
Yeah.
I, at one point, completely lost my voice. It was not the coronavirus, people. Don't fucking worry. Seriously, we were just little. It's cold. You get the cold this time of year. You know what I'm saying? I haven't gotten a cold in probably like 4 years, though. I tell you, I've never. It's very rare.
Yeah, not until this last year. I had, I think, like one or two, maybe, like major ones that I can remember that like took me down.
Damn.
But, yeah.
That's crazy.
Except for like the last was it? Yeah, I think last week. Was like first. It wasn't even really like I was sick or anything. I think I was just like exhausted.
Yeah.
Like, it was just
That definitely. I think that's why I got hit, because I was like 4 days of nonstop, constant shit, and I was exhausted. And then the next day I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
This thing. I need some soup.
Yeah. Other than like sore throat and like I'm all like congested and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I was up to like probably like the night that I came back.
Late.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was up to like 6 maybe.
Yep.
I was like, this sucks.
Yep.
But yeah, so
we're better now.
Yeah. In lighter news,
not only are we better, we're back. We got a lot to talk about. Lots of exciting.
Man.
Just released a new album today. We got a lot to get to. But there, at the top here, I did want to start off. I guess this is not. This is sad news for me. I watched this week video footage of both the Joe Louis Arena and the Palace of Auburn Hills being dismantled. The last pieces coming apart. And that is very sad, because those are two legendary venues in the state of Michigan. The Palace of Auburn Hills, home to where the Pistons, won their fucking championships, and back when they were the bad boys in the early 90s and late 80s. Of course, the fucking Joe Louis Arena, where the Red Wings won many cups.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, at the Joe, I only ever saw one concert, and it was Chiodo's opening for Coheed and Cambria, opening for Linkin Park,
which I'm eternally jealous about.
That was a crazy show, man. That was a great fucking show.
What a lineup.
Yeah, it was insane. And then at the Palace, I have seen the Trans-Siberian Orchestra many times, but probably like the biggest one. The thing I'll never forget about that place is a day in 2006. Yeah, I think it was 2006. Fucking coming over like the hill on the fucking freeway, seeing the Palace sign light up and say, "Tonight, Iron Maiden." First time I ever saw Maiden was at the Palace, and we were front fucking row.
Hell yeah.
General admission, like matter of life and death tour. And then I went on to see Maiden there a couple more times, once with you, right? We saw Maiden there together, didn't we?
I don't think it was there. I think it was at...
Where was it?
Or yeah, it was.
Yeah.
That was the last time I was there. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's last time I was there, I believe, too, actually.
Yeah.
And
I thought that was somewhere else for some reason. I don't
that was
know why.
A fucking great show.
Oh, that was, one of the best.
Yeah.
First time I'd ever seen him. So that was, and to see it like right there with all the production and stuff, and to kind of look over at everything. And that was, like I still remember that.
Oh,
yeah.
They brought the big guns for that one. Yeah. Jesus, I don't even remember what tour it was.
I think it was the, what was the record they just put out?
Book of Souls?
Yeah, it was that tour.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Oh shit, hell yeah, because that's the T-shirt.
Yeah, but I got the Number of the Beast shirt with all the dates on it and stuff on the back. As soon as I saw it, I was like, "Yup, that's mine." Like, gotta have one of those.
Oh,
The only thing that would have trumped it was the Power Slave. They had any
Slave.
artwork from that.
Yeah.
So that's my favorite Maiden record.
It's a great record.
Yeah. Between the two, really. That
I mean,
and
those two and Seventh Son is up there for me too.
Fear of the Dark.
Fear of the Dark.
Another one.
Fear of the Dark, the first album where they didn't use Derek Riggs, the creator of Eddie,
That's right.
on the cover.
Yeah.
But man, some great fucking shows at those places. It is sad to see them go.
Yeah. I saw first Slipknot show there.
Oh,
at,
yeah.
Palace.
Yeah.
Like that was like the first like gigantic show, like concert I ever went to. Like, legitimate, like what you would call a concert. It was them, Coheed, and Trivium, oddly enough. And then I didn't see any shows at the Joe, but I went to a couple of games there, which is cool during the last season.
Red Wings games?
Yeah.
See, I never saw a Wings game there.
That was cool.
I did. Oh shit! No, it wasn't at the Joe. It was at the Palace. I did see. I used to go and watch the Vipers play.
Oh yeah.
Remember the Vipers?
Yeah.
The hockey team. They played at the Palace though. I don't think I ever saw a hockey game at the Joe. Sadly.
It's like going from, because I remember we saw the Trans-Siberian Orchestra at the dojo now.
Yes.
And that was, 2 years ago?
Yeah, 3 years ago, something like that.
And going from, seeing the Joe to that one, to the new place, is like, it makes sense.
It is, the dojo is a impressive venue.
Oh, yeah.
It is very nice.
Yeah.
It is very nice. No question. And it is a cool ass fucking place to see a show.
Yeah. I'll say, like, the thing I really enjoyed about the original Joe Louis was just walking around and just seeing all the history and all of, like, all the stuff on the walls and just all the, the hockey stuff and, like, all the jerseys kind of hung up and the flags and everything. Like, it was just, and, like, it just, like, when you walk through the stadium, like, I mean, all the seats were real close together. Mm-hmm. It was, like, traditional stadium seating and stuff, which is cool.
Everything was concrete.
Yeah. But it was like, I don't know, we were a little bit higher up and stuff, but it was just, I don't know, like I said, it made sense as to why they kind of outgrew that stadium.
They definitely did. They definitely, and well, the original Joe was like built, and I think it was like sinking. It was like the base, the foundation was crumbling or something like that. So it was like a condemned build. It had to go, but man,
that's
tough. It was a fixture in downtown Detroit for very many years.
Yep.
And lots of great things happened there.
Now all three of the major stadiums are in the center.
Not just more than three. We got the Dojo, the Ford Field, and the Comerica Park.
Yeah.
They're all across the street from the Fox Theater and the Fillmore.
Yeah.
And around the corner from the Masonic. Yeah, and there's a venue called the Soundboard in the Motor City Casino, which is where I saw Joey Coco, Diaz, and Dean Delray.
That's cool.
And they've been getting more comedians and more like shows in there. That's a cool little spot. So yeah, there's so fucking many venues right downtown, and all of them are 4 blocks away from St. Andrews.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's fucking The only one on the outskirts really from that is like the Majestic and Harpo's.
Yeah. Which are pretty out there.
They're a little bit farther. Well, the Majestic isn't too far because it's still on. I think it's on Woodward still.
Yeah.
But Harpo's kind of is. It's kind of on the outskirts of town. But here we shall cheers to the fallen venues.
Yes.
And all the wonderful things we've seen in them.
History.
Cheers. Oh, yeah. Woo! Hot fire. Hole number 7. Okay, so I did want to mention that. I saw that happening the week I was under the weather. And I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Next up on the list, it's Friday the 13th. It's Friday the fucking 13th right now as we record this. And we were blessed with a new Black Dahlia murder song. What was it called? Children of the Night? Child of the Night?
Yeah.
Something like that. Fucking off the upcoming album Verminous, to be released, I think, April 17th, I want to say.
Yeah. I think
something
it's
like
just
that.
before, yeah.
something like that. Pre-order your copies now. Um, it's the so we have this is our second track from the album. What do you think?
It yeah, it is April 17th. I just want to make sure.
Fuck yeah.
I dig it. I think
I love it.
yeah, I think I like it a little more than Verminous. Just because there's a little bit more going on. I feel like it's a little bit more.
It's it's longer.
Yeah.
It's just a longer song. Like Verminous was a real fast, in your face. Like,
well, it's
here's some Dahlia.
Yeah.
And now we're showing you kind of what we're doing on the album with this one. I feel like.
Yeah. It's not as catchy as Verminous is, because I feel like Verminous is very like it gets stuck in my head a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
But yeah, I mean it kind of hit on some like, you know, some stuff like, you know, some callbacks to like the earlier stuff in the catalog. Like I heard a lot of like it kind of sounded like some ritual kind of vibes to it with like some Def Leppard parts and stuff, but it still had that original kind of sound to it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that that's the thing I'm most excited about is here, because I saw a couple of interviews and a couple of, you know, little things about, you know, with Trevor and stuff saying like this is a big step for them as far as like the sound goes, which made me really excited, because I feel like they're, especially, you know, with this song and the last one, there's elements of the old school and there's elements of the stuff that's familiar to them, but there's also like, I don't know, there's this weird like newness like with each album, and I feel like this one's kind of no different. I feel like there's a lot of that little like, you know, they're expanding on what happened with Nightbringers a lot, which is really, you know,
they're
sick.
They're doing what we've been saying. We've been like, there seems to be this trend right now, and we've been talking about it with bands like Slipknot and Carnifex and like a lot of the bands we talked about on our album of the year list and stuff like that. Where it's like that they have established a signature sound, and they are with the new stuff. They are not only capitalizing on that signature sound, but they are expanding it and evolving it, and it's very exciting.
Yeah.
It's something that I'm really in, like, because it's like they go. It's like they're going back to, you know, like some of like the earlier records that everybody knows, everybody loves, and then taking what they did there and just expanding on it and evolving it and making it, you know, they're not repeating, they're evolving, and it's fucking awesome. I'm loving it.
Pretty much ever since I think Def Leppard, because I remember hearing a selection of Natural when it first came out. That was the first single off it, and like I still, and that was back in, I mean, I don't remember, that was a while ago.
Yeah.
But even still, like, my point being is like, each time they release a single, I still get that feeling of like excitement, just genuine excitement about like finally some new Black Dahlia. You know what I mean? Like, and they always hit that mark. They always, you know, they always deliver with it.
They don't disappoint.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's really cool to kind of hear the, you know, the evolution of what they've been doing over the last, you know, couple of years and stuff. And this is the first time since they've been on this kind of path with releasing a record every other year. Like, this is the first time I feel, you know, they took a little bit extra time with it.
Yep.
And kind of rode Nightbringers as far, you know, as much as they possibly could.
Yep.
Which I feel like was pretty helpful, because I felt like that was, you know, a turning point for them as far as like defining the sound. Because now, like, I mean, that record is just overall just, you know, praised by everybody, really.
Yeah.
Everybody's heard it and stuff.
Everybody fucking loves it.
Yeah. And they kind of, I feel like they took that, but they also, like, there's still, like I said, there's still that element of, you know, the earlier stuff and of just the, you know, the kind of callbacks to, you know, the first couple of records and stuff. So I'm really excited about this one.
Yeah, I'm fucking ecstatic to hear the rest of this album for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, and I think, I don't know if I like one more than the other. All I know is that they're making me very, very excited to hear the rest of this album. They're both excellent. Yeah. Excellent tracks. Exactly what I pretty much want.
And it's like, the thing that's standing out to me about these two is like, it's really raw sounding.
Yes.
It's got that kind of like, you know, that fierce kind of energy to it, which is cool. That live sound, I feel like it captures a lot of how they sound live.
The new song too, Child of the Night or whatever, is the guitar work is outstanding.
Oh yeah,
Guitar work
solo.
is fucking outstanding on it.
Yeah.
Really impressive. Hell yeah.
There's been a lot of stuff the last couple of weeks that have got me really excited about just the future of heavy music this year, and kind of what we're looking forward to.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and then today, I'm pretty sure that Lamb of God teased us with another new song.
Yeah.
They're teasing something.
I just want to hear more of that.
So fucking bad.
It's been long enough. They've had, they've been through some drastic changes and some pretty big stuff. And
yep.
So
it's everyone. I don't know anybody that's not excited for that one.
Yeah.
Yep. Outstanding.
Between that, new Aborted came out. We were just listening to.
That's out already?
Or no, it's. I think they're putting out a new EP because they got a new guitar player.
Okay.
So that was the thing I was playing earlier.
So it's not out yet.
No, it's not.
Okay. Yeah, there is a lot. I mean, like I said earlier,
New Testament.
New Testament's coming. I'm surprised we haven't heard anything from Devil Driver yet.
So am I. Yeah. Still early though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Rumor has it Ozzy's recording a new album right now.
Yeah.
Holy shit, man! Like, yeah, Megadeth got a new album coming.
I'm not super excited about Megadeth. Like, whatever. Admittedly, whenever they release, yeah.
The last few I haven't been, but before then I was always very excited for new Megadeth.
Whenever they've released a new one, I'm like, yeah, it's kind of the same kind of thing with this one. Like, given everything that's happened, I feel like it's going to be some cool stuff.
Lots, I think.
I wanna point out something that that came out towards the end of the year, or like the last week of the year, I guess, of 2019.
Oh wait, hold on. We do have, real quick, I know what you're gonna say, but real quick, the Heaven Shall Burn's coming, Benighted, Hatebreed. There's just a couple we forgot to mention. Cannibal's working on something new. Go on though. Yeah, last week of the year.
Yeah, Benighted is there, dude. I don't know if you listen to them.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Like,
and Heaven Shall Burn. They're both fucking excellent.
Yeah, unreal.
Yeah.
Like, just and they're drastically different bands, but they're
Oh yeah.
More so, I'm more so into Benighted than I am to Heaven Shall Burn, but
that surprises me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess like they both, like, I have my favorites of both.
Because like Heaven Shall Burn is very like kind of like not necessarily in sound totally, but they remind me it feels like they're kind of in that same cluster of bands as Fit for an Autopsy. Like they're these like almost not deathcore but sort of deathcore sounding bands that are like very active in their songs are about like climate change and stuff like that. Like the the Black Mammoth song or the Heaven Shall Burn song has got the one with the whales and stuff and like fucking very like politically active and they got a point. You know what I mean?
I guess I haven't seen a lot of like the Heaven Shall Burn's been coming up a lot because I know that they're releasing something new.
Yeah,
I have a few of their albums.
Hell yeah.
I like their sound. I haven't really been paying too close attention to them the last few years, but I feel like I'll probably end up checking out a couple of new songs and stuff.
They've apparently been around forever.
Oh yeah,
which I didn't know.
Yeah, they're old school.
Yeah,
like. And anytime you look them up, it's always that Wall of Death video.
Yeah,
where they just and it like to this day, I think it's probably next to Lamb of God.
I've seen
they both hold the record in my eyes, man.
At one point, Devil Driver held the record.
That's that's hard to dispute, man.
Yeah,
I've seen those videos.
Insane.
Yeah, that stuff like that's the stuff that like kind of turns your stomach a little bit, like because it just looks gnarly.
Oh, so gnarly.
Yeah.
But anyway, go on.
Oh yeah, so I was gonna say like I recently I ordered it when it first came out because I instantly just like fell in love with it. I love the sound of this record, and it came out like I said last week of last year, and it was it's the new Acacia strain, Our Only Sin.
And this was like a Eminem style secret release.
Yeah. And they've never really been a band that's done that.
I mean, not a lot of bands do that at all.
Yeah.
Like ever. So
you
it's kind
always
of cool to see.
yeah, you always think of like stuff that gets hyped up and everything, and
And you gotta have 2 singles. You gotta
Yeah.
have the record. You gotta have the pre-orders. You gotta have the merch. You gotta
Yeah.
have all this stuff. And then these guys fuck off. We're just gonna
Yeah.
put this out. Like,
every so often there's a few bands that are like, yeah, we're just gonna here's this, here you go, and like, man, I remember I put it on my honorable mention list because I hadn't listened to it enough.
right. It literally was out like a week before we did.
I think it was
a day.
I think it was like the day.
It might have been the same day we
Yeah.
recorded that shit.
Yeah, I remember sending you a text and be like, well, this got way harder.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, man, like I've been listening to that pretty nonstop.
Fuck yeah.
And it's one of those that, like, to me, that band ages like a fine wine.
Hell
man.
yeah.
Like
Hell
each record they put
Fine
out,
Scotch.
yeah, each record they put out is so much better than the last one.
Hell yeah.
And they always seem to like capture this emotion on it that's really cool to me. Like this really kind of like this like doomy sort of like kind of like depressing sound to it, but it's done over this super heavy, just music, which is cool. And I know that Vincent's been through, as far as like the last couple of years, because he used to be this real super negative kind of guy, and like just be and wrote about like things like the apocalypse, destroying the world, all that stuff. Continent, like I would challenge anybody to not put that on and not evoke some kind of violent emotion out of it, because that record that got me through some shit in high school, like, and it still does today. Like that's one of the toughest records ever. But yeah, this one, man, like I put it on the other day, and like it got to about like the 4th or 5th song, and like all of a sudden, like it just like it hit me, man. Like, and I was just started like, I don't know, like I just like kind of was like started weeping, man. Like
Holy shit.
it's one of those that just
Hell
like yeah.
Just gets you.
Because it's all about like they've always been a band that deals with that, as far as lyrically, about like the like death, basically,
Yeah.
and just like like depression and all of that kind of stuff, like Coma, which was all about sleep paralysis and all of that kind of stuff, like all this stuff that he was seeing during the time. And I don't know, so like I'm in like the first couple of records were very like kind of in with the times a little bit, because deathcore used to be very like kind of sort of misogynistic, like kind of that sort of style.
Sure.
And but they've sort of evolved from that to the kind of worldly aspect of things, as far as things that are going on, and just like the infinite and the void and all that stuff, and talking about the fifth dimension, all that stuff. Like it's really cool kind of stuff, and especially like
Cool concepts.
yeah, like put with the artwork and the imagery and stuff. Like there's something about it that is so just dark, like you can just feel it, and
Fuck
like
yeah.
there's a few songs on there that just like the line it comes in waves, like reappears through each of the songs. Like I think like the 4th or 5th song in it, like you first hear it, and then the last song, that's the last line of the song, and then it repeats, and then like goes and like starts the record over again.
Oh wow.
So it's kind of like a like a repeating kind of idea.
That's crazy.
So yeah, I like, if you haven't heard of them, if you haven't like either that one, like I liked Grave Bloom, which is their last record. I really liked the one, but that was before it. Like I said, Coma Witch, that was probably the last like real like kind of like down tempo sort of hardcore stuff. But yeah, like this one, man, it just like I feel it,
Fuck yeah.
like
Dude.
it's just one of those that just gets me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and
That's fucking fantastic.
I'm really, and it's like the only thing that got me more excited about that was they put out that, and then it was a couple months, and then they put out 2 new songs for a new album, I think, that are coming out this year. So
That's crazy.
Yeah, if I have the chance to see them, hopefully this year, I really want to again, because it's been a minute since I've seen them, and so
We might not get to see anybody this year.
yeah,
So.
yeah. At this rate, who knows? But yeah,
But
yeah,
we'll,
man.
We'll get to that.
Our Only Sin, the Acacia strain, came out last last year, and I highly recommend checking it out, because it is. I mean, if you're into the kind of like down tempo stuff, but with some like doom elements and some black metal elements to it, like that's
Go get that shit.
Yeah, it's really sick. I like it.
Fuck yeah. I will. I have not given it a listen yet. I would definitely on that. How can you not after what you just said? So
I gotta get you into some Acacia Strain.
yeah, they're a band I've seen. They're one of those bands I've seen, never gotten into.
Yeah. Yeah, they have done a bunch of touring and stuff.
Yeah, they've been on a lot of like the Mayhem Fests, I think.
I think they've been on more Warped Tour than
Oh, okay.
I don't think they've ever played Mayhem Fest.
Oh, really?
I don't think so.
I
could be wrong about that though. But, yeah.
We did have a pretty big announcement here in Michigan this week. We got a big chunk of the lineup for Michigan Metal Fest.
Yeah.
2020.
I saw that.
Woo!
Homies in Recorruptor.
Recorruptor's back.
Decided to hop on it this year. That's sick.
We got F War, Hard Home, Let It Rot, Mantra of Morta, No Class Assassins, The Green Leaves. Shout out.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude.
Echo of Silence, Cold Faction, Recorruptor, Sin 7, Tala, Fool's Brew, Casket Robbery, Carnus Immortalis. Shout out.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Heart of Jordan, Coffin Talk, Last Sleep, and Outlander. And then we also have Beyond Threshold, Crosis, Filth, Raven Black, Psycho Stick, and Green Jelly, which I'm very excited to see.
Yeah, that's like as far as I'm not super familiar with a lot of the first bands you named. I gotta kind of look
locals.
up some of them. Yeah.
Okay.
But man, like there's some like Filth. I've been really into that band lately.
Filth, dude.
Yeah.
Cannot wait to see. They're gonna be at the show we're hoping to go to with Convalescence and Jungle Rot.
Oh yeah.
Filth is gonna be on that,
yeah.
so we'll see. Hopefully, we'll get to see them twice this summer. That'd be awesome.
That band makes me want to like throw shit.
Oh my
dude.
god!
Like,
just fuck shit up.
They're like it's them. Like I connect them closest to like Traders. That kind of a sound, like that real aggressive, like
just nasty.
Yeah, like fight music.
Oh, my god, I love them.
It's cool to see. What was do you still have that lineup? Pull up.
I'm pull it back up.
I don't remember.
Second.
Yeah.
You don't know who you're gonna say?
It was a few of the headliners I'm gonna talk about.
Oh, okay. Hold on one second. I'll give it to you. Boom shakalaka. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, Beyond Threshold. It's cool to see them on it again.
Yep.
They were
awesome.
A couple of years.
Yeah, they were good. I think they were there last year. I don't know.
Yeah. Crosis, dude, they've been doing some big stuff recently.
Mm-hmm.
I've been seeing like on every metal fan page, like group, whatever on Facebook. Like they've been making a lot of noise as far as like I think they released a new record this year.
Okay.
That's doing a lot. I haven't really listened to them too much.
Yeah, neither have I.
Yeah. So
I know them.
Yeah. And
I know their name at least.
Yeah. Raven Black would be cool.
They're great. Look, they're not like my favorite style of metal.
Yeah.
But I love watching them. They have a great stage thing.
Yeah.
They're fun as fuck to watch.
Yeah.
Like they have a gimmick sort of, and I'm totally into it. Like I love it.
You ever played BioShock?
No.
It's like that. Like
I know the video game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what it is. Yeah.
You know, like the aesthetic of it.
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of sound that I get from that.
Okay.
Like that visual.
Okay.
It's cool.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. No, I am a Raven Black fan for sure.
Yeah, and then I don't know Green Jelly. Admittedly, that's a weird one.
Old school.
Really?
Yeah, I believe so. They've been around for a long time.
Oh, they like. Well, I don't know. They're probably not local, I guess.
No, I don't think so. Excuse me.
Yeah. And then Psycho Stick, man, they like I was. That band is just awesome.
Let's say real quick.
Like,
make sure I'm right about that.
They I watched.
Yeah, Green Jelly.
I watched one of their because they do a Twitch stream. I think a couple of times a week or a couple of times a month maybe. And like I was watching. I was like, dude, this is awesome. Like they're comedy, but it's like heavy music. You know what I mean?
It's Green Jelly is an American comedy rock band formed in 1981.
Oh, okay.
And like they kind of like got a Guar thing going.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
so them and Psycho Stick, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, no, Green Jelly is fucking like a classic band, and they have some great album covers.
Okay.
Yeah, they're kind of like that. Yeah, like the Guar sort of fucking, but not really. You know what I mean? Like obviously, but
that
yeah,
could be
them and
cool.
Psycho Stick
Yeah.
are gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be a fun fucking day.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be a fun fuck. It's such a great lineup so far, and there's a lot more to come.
Yeah.
That's just the first wave of announcements. So, and I'm already like, I'm going.
Yeah.
Like I don't even care who the headliner is at this point. I just want to go.
It just like I don't know. Because I want to be a little more like aware and involved with the local stuff that's going on. Because I feel like there's a lot of bands that I could, or just just deserve that kind of recognition.
They do.
You know, and just deserve that attention.
There's dude. Yeah. You definitely need to come to more of these local shows because I have so much fucking fun.
Yeah.
Like it's insane.
I've been dropping the ball a little bit lately, and I admit it.
You're gonna come. You're gonna come to some of these
for one reason or another.
And well, that's okay. Well, I guess there's no getting past it at this point. We need to talk about. I was literally gonna say there actually is a show. It was either this weekend or next weekend that I wanted to go to, but it's probably, if it's not already, it's probably going to get canceled.
Yeah.
And it's at the Displaced Manor, that new little venue here in Lansing. Yeah. I really want to check that place out. So yeah, but we have to talk, huh?
I don't know. I was just gonna say I feel like it's a decent segue for the sad, unfortunate kind of bomb.
So
on everybody.
Apparently we're in a pandemic right now, and apparently this coronavirus thing is taking everything by the throat, and
quite literally.
As a result, we have had a large number of very high-profile tour postponements and cancellations.
I think I saw there was a website where somebody was posting all of the the current ones that are being.
Yeah, I think it's like Metal Sucks or something.
Yeah.
The first one that hit us, Carnifex, the Meta X tour has been canceled. I had a ticket. I was supposed to be there March 28th at the Machine Shop in Flint. Not happening.
Nope.
Then the next day, at the Sanctuary in Detroit, was the Devastation the Nation tour featuring Rotting Christ and I think Wolfheart. Your buddies in Wolfheart. Have you heard that new song yet? They got a new song.
Do they?
Yeah, they got a new album coming.
Damn.
Yeah,
I haven't checked
you
that out.
fucking
yet.
love them because we saw them right with Behemoth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was sick. Yeah.
You were like, dude, because I remember I bought one of their CDs because you told me their CDs are fucking hard to find.
Yeah. That was what their merch guy was telling me. Mm-hmm. They were like, these, I can't find these anywhere. Or maybe it was somebody I was talking to. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But it was a while ago. But regardless, like they're really sick. I don't feel like they get quite the recognition that they deserve. I don't get quite the credit.
But they were gonna be. Well, actually, no. The Devastation of the Nation tour got postponed to 2021.
Oh, did it?
Yes.
Oh,
so
wow.
that same tour
Yeah.
is going to happen next year. It is postponed officially.
It
will be here.
That's such a bummer.
So dude, I can't even begin to explain to you. Like, yes, I went to the Recorruptor Oigs Fest show. It was amazing. But look, I love the local shows, but you don't just fly off at the handle at the local shows like you do at the bigger ones. You just, because there's less people there, you're more mindful. I'm not trying at the bigger shows. There's going to be a big pit. I'm not trying to start a little pit at, you know what I mean, a show and bother everybody. I want everybody to have a good time. Some people don't want pit. It's not a big place. You know what I'm saying? If a pit starts, I'll jump in. You know what I mean? But you're not going to fucking just lose your shit the same way. So it's been like since November since we've been to a real metal show. And the first one up was the Carnifex show.
Yeah.
And I have been playing World War X to death, dude. I am beyond obsessed with that album. I fucking love it. And I was so goddamn excited to fucking
Yeah.
see this show, man. And I
honestly, to check out some of the other bands that were opening that too.
yeah, I didn't know any of them,
I
so I
didn't
was
either.
gonna get introduced to all of them, and I
Yeah.
was excited about that. But I tell you what, all
Yeah.
these we've only talked about 2 cancellations so far. I got a whole list in front of me, and I know there are some on that list that I've missed. Not on my list. Every single band that we talk about tonight, that you and I sitting here listen to, that anybody listening to this might listen to, none of them are fucking rich, and all of them are losing a fuck ton of money.
Yeah.
With these tour cancellations, they've already spent money on merch to sell at every single stop. They've spent money on plane tickets, on buses, on fucking hotels, whatever the fuck it took to make the tour happen. The record company doesn't pay for all that shit. That doesn't happen. So especially with the smaller bands, like the fucking ones, the metal bands, the ones we're talking about, the ones that are playing these small venues, like your Carnifex and your Rotting Christ and your Thy Art Is Murder, and all, you know what I mean? Like, so now more than ever, we gotta fucking support them. I know Carnifex put all of their tour merch up on indiemerchstore.com. It's available for purchase on there, and all the money goes to them to help them, get out of this hole that this tour cancellation has caused. And I was thinking about it. I was like, I saw that there was a tour shirt that I was like, I want that, like 100%.
Yeah.
But I was like, I didn't go, but nobody went.
Yeah.
So I'd have a tour shirt for a tour that never happened. That's kind of tight.
Yeah.
That's kind of tight. So I think I'm definitely gonna hop on Indie Merch Store and grab a couple things. So yeah, any of the bands we talk about, now more than ever is a time to support them, buy some music.
It wasn't. I don't think it was because it was that one, and then I think Thy Art posted
the Thy Art Is Murder. What's it called?
The Human Target tour or something like that.
It's the
maybe.
It had a name though.
Oh yeah, it did. I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
But yeah, they were one of the ones that they were like one of the first ones to be like, yeah, like support what you're into, support the the bands, because right now everybody's kind of hurting from this. And
yep, it's Thy Art, and they were on tour with fucking Guerrilla Warfare, Extinction AD, Un Misery, Aversion Crown, Enterprise Earth, Fit for an Autopsy.
Yeah. Dude.
A monster lineup.
I was more excited about that than probably other than like Slipknot.
A lot of shows. I was very, very excited about that, and that flat out the whole thing got canceled.
Yep.
Whole thing got taken down. That was announced today, Friday the 13th. And then also officially announced the Sepultura tour, the Sebastian Bach tour, the first leg of the Rage Against the Machine tour, the Lamb of God Creator Europe tour. Yeah, that's all. That's all I know off the top of my head, pretty much. But I know there are more.
Yeah.
And we're obviously just focusing on metal. A lot more besides metal and rock. Has everything is being canceled.
The first one that caught my attention and really got me thinking about it was the big South by Southwest festival.
You want to know what's disgusting about that? They're not giving their people refunds.
What?
Because apparently in the fucking like when you get a ticket or whatever in the agreement, it says no refunds, and the reasons, one of the reasons cited included is actually acts of God. And apparently this falls under that.
Wow, okay.
So they're not giving anyone a refund.
Damn.
How
this has got to be expensive to
fuck?
tickets
oh,
too.
buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that like a weekend festival?
Yeah. So those tickets are, anywhere. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But if I had to guess, anywhere from 300 up, probably.
Yeah.
100 a day at least.
Not to mention all the like the parking, camping kind of deal.
Everything.
Stuff. Yeah.
And how much fucking
Unless they don't do that, I'm not sure. I haven't really looked
I
too
don't know.
much into that one.
I really don't know anything about that festival.
Yeah.
But I did read that they're not fucking giving refunds, and I was like, you gotta be shit. That is fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's getting canceled, man. At least until April, you know.
Yep.
And
which I don't even.
I
hate to put that out there, but right now it's anybody's guess.
Yeah, as to when
Yeah.
things actually. And I tell you what. I mean, like, put it this way: if these shows weren't canceled, I'd be going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm definitely not too concerned about this coronavirus.
I'm not really either.
Like, yeah, I'm really not concerned about it.
Yeah.
And
maybe it's to my ignorance, but.
No, I mean the more I learn about it, the less I get concerned.
So
that's
it's
the
like,
thing. Yeah, it's not ignorance.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not that big of a deal. Like what? Like hang on. As long as we just make sure the old people don't get it, we're like good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what the fuck?
It's so I don't know. I'm kind of torn as to like how I feel about it because I've always been a big advocate for, you know, if you're scared of something, like, do research, look into it, and kind of educate yourself, because that is going to make more sense than freaking out over what the media is pushing in your face.
Exactly.
And so that's kind of why I started looking up different things about it to kind of figure out, like, oh well, you know, like. My understanding of it is so that I, you know, it's like I know what to do in case of it, and I know kind of what to look out for and what, you know, the things to kind of. So I feel like, you know, as long as there's that, but at the same time, like there's so much crazy shit going on around it, and to kind of like misinformation on it, that I feel like it's got, you know, it's got everybody kind of scared and stuff, which, you know, understandable because it's a big deal, but
I mean, it is. It is something that if it got out of hand would be a serious problem.
Yeah.
But
it's hard to say if now is even like getting out of hand. You know what I mean? Like what is the point where, I mean, I don't know, I feel like we're going off on kind of a tangent.
No, let's go.
But like, I don't know.
They took this stupid fucking thing took away my concerts, bro. I want to talk about it.
Fair enough, yeah. But yeah, I mean,
concerts are all that I do.
Really?
Let's just
honestly.
like, I don't go out to eat. I don't fucking go out to do anything but work, really, or just go do normal human things. And except concerts, it's my one thing. And it's taking it away.
Yeah. Almost like pretty much overnight.
Literally.
Like
literally overnight. Yeah. But you know, I don't know what to make of this. It is unprecedented.
Yeah.
These cancellations, the cancellations of the NFL or the NBA, the NHL, the NCAA is unprecedented.
Yeah, when I found out that the whole March Madness was just done,
gone,
like, just canceled,
gone.
Yeah.
Never heard of that. Never heard of such a thing. This is so that in a sense at least. That sense at least kind of does make this bigger than Y2K. But like, I remember Y2K. I remember everybody panicked and nothing happened.
Yeah.
And everything was okay. Just like swine flu, just like all the other fucking ones that we have gone through and taken care of.
Yeah.
Got rid of it. You know what I mean? We're good.
That's kind of where I'm at with it, because I feel like every year we hear about something like this.
At least every couple years, that's for sure. Ebola.
Yeah, at least the major ones. I feel like the ones that kind of like are the ones to watch out for. But as far as like, you know, why is this one any different?
I mean, as far as I understand, it's just kind of like a little bit more extreme of like a cold flu.
Yeah,
and
it gets into your lungs basically.
And
is what I get from it.
And but it like only a very small percentage of people even experience symptoms, and even smaller percentage of people actually fucking like only like elderly who are already have only people with already compromised immune systems are gonna have a problem with it.
Yeah.
And like, and I also, I don't want to say that because like I'm, but
Kind of treading on some.
well, no, I just don't want to like, just because I read something somewhere doesn't mean you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But
We're not experts on this
yeah,
by any
no,
stretch.
no, we're just like sitting here going, what the fuck is going on
Yeah.
right now?
Like everybody else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and man, like these tour cancellations, it's fucking. I've been going to concerts for 16 years, all right?
Yeah.
One time in the entire 16 years of going to concerts have I ever gotten a refund for a ticket before now where I am sitting here with 2 tickets upstairs that I'm going to need refunds for.
Yeah.
Like, and before this, it was fucking Arch Enemy canceling their goddamn tour on me.
That was the most of your worries.
Yeah,
You know?
that was the only time I'd ever gotten a refund. That was the first time ever.
Yeah.
And now this. And this is... I can't believe this.
Yeah.
Cannot believe it. Never seen anything like it. And now I'm on the fence. It's like, do I buy concert tickets for later in the year? Or should I, like, maybe wait a minute? Like, what?
Yeah.
Are they just going to get canceled? You know what I mean? Like, what?
Yeah.
On the one hand. On the other hand, to actually, even if they do get, okay, so I buy a ticket, it either doesn't get canceled and I go, or it does get canceled and I have a physical ticket for a concert that never happened,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool.
See, here's the thing to me, and I was thinking about it the other night, honestly, when all this started happening, because I kind of relate it back to the Hatebreed thing that we were talking about, the live dominance.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, like, because that, I mean, from what you told me and from what I understand from it, like, that was a gigantic show because it got canceled the first time. So I'm thinking, like, maybe we got some way, you know, like, once these actually do come back, like, we got...
Yeah, but that's the problem is a lot of them are canceled. They're not postponed.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
Like, a lot of these tours are just going to break up and not ever... We'll see these bands again, but not on... The Meta X tour is never going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, there's not going to be a Meta X tour. Like, I agree with you.
Unless...
I know what you're saying, but I feel like that big snapback wave is going to be... like, let's say all this gets wrapped up in fucking April or May or whatever, and everything's a go for the rest of the summer. That snapback is going to be at Slipknot and at Lamb of God Megadeth and at, you know, it's going to be at the first shows up.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
If they were, I was thinking more like rescheduled than.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping. That's what I was hoping all of these would end up being is why don't you just fucking? But it's because
at the same time,
do you know how hard that every single band has shit planned out for the next 2 years? There's, you know what I mean? Like, there's no way.
Well,
just logistically to do it, like,
especially when, you know, most bigger like sign bands are on like a real tight schedule and stuff.
Exactly.
And to have to put one in place to the other is pretty unattainable. But
exactly.
So yeah.
And it's man, it's such a bummer, such a bummer, and I just hope that the fans like us step up here and help our artists as much as we can. 'Cause I tell you what, you know, they're feeling the brunt of this like none of us are.
Yeah.
I'm not losing money because of the coronavirus. They all are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, this is. I mean, as soon as all this started happening, I even said it to you guys. I was like, man, if this keeps up, it's gonna change everything. Like, it's gonna change.
And we were sitting here on the 2 episodes ago. Fuck that. Every episode this year, pretty much, all we've been doing is talking about how amazing 2020 is going to be for metal.
Yeah.
And all these amazing shows and amazing releases. It's going to be a big year for metal. And now we're getting kicked in the nuts.
Tell you what, though, this is going to make for some really different sounding records.
It could.
Like, this is going to,
like,
you know.
It could, you know, that's the thing is it could send everybody back into the lab.
Yeah.
And just start fucking making music. Like Ozzy said, he's like, I can't fucking tour, so I'm just gonna record my ass off as much as I can. So
I don't know. I'm like everybody else, and at the same time, I'm like, what's, you know, what else is gonna happen?
And I tell you what, dude, but like this, you're like the snapback. I think that we were talking about earlier will come with the first shows up. But having said that, every fucking band that we're missing that has already been canceled, you bet your fucking ass next time they're in Michigan, I'm gonna be there no matter what. Now I'm even more gung ho about it than I was now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So maybe you're right. Maybe more people are like me and are like, no, well, then
Yeah.
in that fucking case, oh, in that fucking case, you want to cancel this shit? All right, motherfucker, see what happens when you come back. Watch.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be crazy. We're going to go off. We're going to show you what Michigan is. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I'm feeling about it. That's how I'm feeling about it. Like, it's disappointing. Of course, I'm bummed out. I feel terrible for the bands and for all the other fans and everything, but we're metal. We are fucking as diehard as they come. We are not fickle, and these are our artists. These are our people. Like this is the family. We gotta take care of them. We gotta take care of each other, and that's what it's about.
At this point, I feel like if it's worth heeding all of the signs and everything, and to have the chance to be able to keep things going kind of regularly as far as shows and stuff in the future, so that everybody's all good. It's something that it sucks, but it's necessary at this point, especially if all like it's I feel like it's like I said, who knows at this point where it's gonna go, but
look,
if everybody's kind of on the same page, then and
it's if
I don't know how much we should cut into this subject.
If
but
no, if what we're doing, if all these cancellations, if all of this, what's happening, makes it so, by the beginning to mid-April, this is no longer something anybody has to worry about.
Yeah.
Then it was worth it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I meant.
That's kind of my. You
hope.
That's what I'm hoping. That's how I'm a very optimistic person. So. But I am, it is.
It's tough.
Because that's the thing for a metalhead, a show is a great release.
Yeah. I haven't been to anything this year.
And when it's been 6 months, you start to feel like the Crypt Keeper.
A little bit, yeah.
And you
feel a
just
little pent up.
Fuck shit up.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's pent up for sure. It's pent up. There's a pent up attentedness happening right now, and some way or another, you know what? Maybe we're just gonna have to do something for ourselves. Maybe we're just gonna have to drive. Excuse me, sorry. Maybe we're just gonna have to drive down to Detroit and go to Armando's anyway, just to make ourselves feel better.
Good measure. Yeah.
Because I mean, you can't not be happy eating Armando's.
Yeah.
At least it'll make us happy. But yeah, man, shit. It's unprecedented, absolutely crazy. Never seen anything like this, and I don't know how far it goes, but I'm also confident in I think we'll be all right. I think we'll be all right. I think in a big bad way it's because of how seemingly over the top the response is right now. For like we said, the more we learn about it, the less we're really worried about it. Like it doesn't really seem like something like, and I hate how people keep throwing this around because I feel like it shouldn't. You shouldn't. I'm not trying to underplay it. This coronavirus thing. I'm not trying to downgrade it, but more people the people keep throwing around this flu thing. How more people die from the flu and all this shit. Not trying to underplay it, but that is true. So, at the moment at least, and hopefully it stays that way because of this reaction, I think is the idea.
Yeah.
So, and that's God damn it. I was just gonna say another thing that I read in passing, Didn't do the research. Should just shut the fuck up, B. Calm
And
down.
that's why I'm kind of like trying to not really say too much about it.
Yeah, I don't want to
Because-
just like spout off
Yeah.
on and be wrong about shit.
This isn't that kind of podcast.
No. But it
But-
is having a massive effect on our world and what this podcast is about right now. So it's something just because, God damn it, we've been talking about these shows
Man.
for months.
Yeah.
Like, and these I mean, the releases will all still happen, of course, but
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what I'm going back to is like the silver lining is there's gonna be some angry people. There's gonna be some like, and there's gonna be a lot of bands, right? Especially like it's and honestly it might warrant some more like more like I guess like sooner releases for
it
everybody
may.
else.
Yeah, that's actually true. That's actually true. If they can't tour, then they might just go back.
Yeah.
Start recording the next album.
Different kind of stuff.
Who fucking knew that Death Atlas would be so relevant right now?
Yeah.
Like, Jesus
It's hard to
Christ.
not go back to all that.
Oh, when every time
Yeah.
I put that album on, I was like, bring back the plague. Well,
Called it.
you did it.
Yeah. Here
the
we
plague
are.
is black.
Yeah.
Back. Like, this is fucking crazy. Like, yeah, unprecedented. And I just, just like everybody else, I'm bummed out. But now,
As long as
now's the time to step up.
yeah.
Now's the time to show these bands that we're metalheads and metalheads are family, and that's what we do.
Just be decent people, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. We gotta at this point in time, like
Everybody love everybody.
yeah.
ELE. You know what that means? You ever seen Semi-Pro?
Yeah.
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 Everybody love everybody. Fucking love that.
Tell you what else I love too is releasing new music. And I don't know if that's where you were going, but
It's actually
harsh segue, but
the last thing that the cancellations, and then that's exactly where we were going. We may be disappointed by cancellations of tours and things like that, but we have tons and tons of great new music. Like we said earlier, we got a Tease from the Lamb of God. We got a new Dahlia song, all on Friday the 13th, and of course, the local Lansing legends, the Lansing Swamp Beasts, the Boggy Boys themselves, Bog Wraith, finally dropped the new EP, Titan.
if you don't know, now you know.
Now you know. Titan has been released officially today. It went up for streaming at midnight on Friday the 13th, 2020, and February or March. And it's out. It's out, everybody. Go fucking get it. Titan is out. So I had heard the rough cuts a few weeks back now. You showed them to me.
Yeah.
And yeah, just for anybody who may not know, Aaron is the drummer of Bog Wraith. Just in case we got some new listeners or anything.
This hasn't been established in 100 and
On the last episode when we had your singer on, dude.
yeah.
Fucking
Regardless, yeah.
regardless.
Yep.
Irregardless. So I heard the rough cuts. And then, obviously, I heard Flesh whenever the video dropped with everybody else. Amazing. Slam Nation Worldwide. Go watch this the Flesh video.
Shouts out to Slam Worldwide.
Slam Worldwide. I don't know why I call them Slam Nation Worldwide. Slam Worldwide.
Rolls off the tongue, I guess.
It does, yeah. I don't know where I saw that.
Yeah.
Something. But that is out.
Yeah.
And so is Titan now. And so yeah, I'd heard it once, the rough cuts. Now that I've heard it, the final product, in my car, I actually had the opportunity to listen to it top to bottom twice today. And I just am absolutely blown away by the production. It almost like the I really don't know what the right words are to describe what I'm thinking and feeling, but like I said, like with the new Josta album, like I love the production on that album because it 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 just feels like warm and like full bodied.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I guess
That I feel on this
Mm.
on Titan, which I was very surprised by. How just like full bodied and warm of like almost like I'm listening to it on a vinyl. Like that's kind of all like not.
Mm.
It's kind of almost the same sort of feeling that I get, and yeah, the production was just you could hear everything very clearly. Um, so yeah, Julian just really knocked it out of the park on this one for me.
Yeah.
I absolutely love the mixing, the production. I thought everything on that level was fucking outstanding. What we have in Titan is a 5-track EP, an intro, and then 4 full-length tracks. Now, these are kind of longer songs for you guys, aren't they?
I believe so. Yeah, I think they're.
I mean, besides Monstrous.
Yeah, there are a few because this is. I mean, even that 5 songs is still almost 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
Yeah. It as far as the last couple, I mean, it's hard to gauge it as far as Omen. I guess as far as like the EPs go, because yeah, Viscera was 15 minutes, about 14 minutes, and then Meyer was 16 minutes.
So it's longer
So
than them.
it's a little it's a little bit more of a. But I think that's just kind of because we always start off with the idea of like let's just write like a 3-minute song, like just kind of keep going with it, and then eventually we're like, oh well, that would be sick. Towards the end of it, like, oh well, then that leads into this part, and then this part, and then that's the end of it, and then before we know it, we got like a 6-minute song.
Oh, yeah.
So sometimes that happens, but like I don't feel like we really shoot for any like thing specific.
No,
Just a
yeah.
lot of like I feel like as far as a lot of the writing goes, we're pretty to the point with most of it. Like there's clear parts, like there's different, I mean there's like repeating stuff that happens, but it's all, kind of musically, and it's all kind of like, as far as like what the music is doing. But I feel like, it all has like a point to it, and it doesn't like stray too far away from like the clear like start of it to the end of it. Like it always kind of moves in a certain way. So I feel like,
And let's touch on that. And I know we kind of have in the past couple episodes, especially the last one, but let's do it again. This is somewhat of a concept EP.
yeah.
And so explain that. What's the concept and give me the track breakdown.
It's more about just an overall idea of just destructive forces.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of just things that would, just take the world, basically. Anything from, flesh is about the mountain.
Yes.
It's about the, the big mountain of just that just, eats people to stay alive, basically. Just feeds the earth, kind of. I hope Alex, I know you're going to listen to this.
I feel like that's an accurate description. That's pretty much what Alex said.
Yeah. So I'm kind of like calling back to that. More like putridity is more just like, about disease, infection, other kind of things like that. More of a real kind of like visceral feel to everything. And then Blackened Skies is just about like an ice storm that just kind of just consumes the world. And towards the end of it, there's a cool line that I want to use for something that kind of calls into that.
What about Sanctum of Brimstone?
That one, I got to be honest, I'm not too sure what the concept of it is.
Okay.
So I can't really comment too much on that one. But that is admittedly one of my favorites.
Hell yeah.
Just I don't know. I think musically it's cool. And it's one of the more like it takes a lot of different turns to it. And I just think like just I don't know. Just it's a interesting song to me.
What's going on then with Arise, the intro?
That one that one's all Julian, honestly.
Okay.
Like he kind of took that and because we always try to put.
It has this creepy like
a movie reel kind of thing.
Reel going in the background there. Dun, 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 dun. That's so fucking creepy.
As far as like the sound design, as far as like the just the overall, we as a band like to put you in the put you in a specific mindset.
Yeah.
It's more about the feel of what the music is doing than it is about any like technicality or speed or anything like that, which to me has always been something that's really exciting. because it allows us to kind of do things like the just write different like loose concept ideas and stuff,
Yeah.
and it's cool to have that to kind of keep in the back of in the back to kind of tie everything together a lot of times. So
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude.
I just and I gotta man, Julian's been slaving over this thing, and it's awesome to hear just from early Viscera stuff, even to like the old like Aphotic stuff and like all their the older band stuff, just to hear the general progression of everything and just how much tighter and just better he's gotten with anything from like just the sound design of stuff to like putting like these little eerie sounds into everything. Like you heard it a little bit on Omen. I feel like there was a couple of different parts, like more like tags towards the end of things, like towards the end of a few songs that kind of had that like black end sound, or like the few different like soundscapes during the songs. But I feel like with Titan, it's an element that is taken a step further, and it really kind of makes you like it adds that much more of a feel to it. A lot of times, like just the little
Ambiance.
sounds and like, which is why I think Putridity and Flesh and Sanctum has a few of them that are just like, just those little like things during like a couple of grooves and like a couple like the breakdowns and stuff that are just like, I don't know, just get you in this like gnarly headspace, I guess.
Yes.
Like,
Yes,
it's cool.
yes.
So yeah, man, like Julian is, it's awesome I always feel pretty lucky to be in a band with these dudes, because they always, they push me to write better and to be kind of on top of my shit, and to always kind of like practice what I've been doing to, so that I can make sure that I'm as good of a drummer and as a musician as I could be for this kind of band. So
Fuck yeah, dude. That's a great thing. That's a great thing to have with your bandmates. It's fucking definitely feels like a evolutionary step for you guys.
yeah.
In term, like you're going for something here, and I really feel like you hit it.
Yeah.
Like it's talk to me about do you know who did the cover art?
Let me see. We went for a different artist than we did for Omen. Omen, that was Shaylin.
Okay.
He's doing huge things. He did oddly enough all the Death Atlas artwork. He came up with all their like symbols and stuff. I don't know if you ever knew that.
What?
Yeah.
Hold the fuck on.
So the same guy that did the Omen artwork did a lot of the like the Lorna Shore stuff and all of the.
Wait though.
Yeah.
The same guy that did Omen did Death Atlas?
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude. Whoa! Whoa!
I'm surprised that ever like.
Whoa! Yeah. God damn! So this motherfucker sitting across from me has had the same cover artist work on his album that worked on like probably one of the biggest, greatest metal masterpieces in the last 10 years, Death Atlas, and you've had fucking Trevor Sternad as a guest vocal on a song. What the fuck, dude? What the fuck? Like, that's so epic.
Sometimes it's hard to believe that it's,
Oh my god. That's so fucking sick. Anyway, it's okay. So who did?
So I gotta.
Because Titan, I like this. I like it is a Titan, is what it looks like.
Yeah, it's a big monster.
It's a big bog monster.
Yeah.
Boggy. That's what I shall call him. The bog. Boggy boy.
I apologize. I want to give him credit because.
No, take your time. But also for anybody that wants to, you can go and get physical copies of Titan on Bandcamp. You can also find on Bandcamp, that's where the lyrics for the songs are posted, so you can kind of like read along with the songs, like I'm gonna do and stuff like that. Be sure to check that out. You got it?
Yeah. So it's Maxwell Aston.
Maxwell Aston, excellent work, sir.
Yeah, I think because we were looking for something that really kind of like stuck out to us that was cool, but also kind of, you know, presented that idea of, you know, of the just the big destructive forces and what's better than just a big gigantic
Bog
monster with a sword axe.
Yeah.
You know. So
I think it's excellent.
yeah. And then so just to give credit to Ullman, because he's been just killing it lately as far as all the stuff he's been doing, and so it'd be cool to.
It's just this oh wow, more by Bog Wraith, and it's got everything. Just this Titan EP. Oh yeah, that's something I was gonna ask you. So you've released the Flesh video. Any other videos coming from this?
As far as like set in stone ideas, I'm not sure. Right now we talked about doing one for Putridity. We threw on a few ideas for it, but nothing's really set yet. As far as I would think I would like to have another video out for one of them, because I feel like these are really strong songs.
I agree.
And I feel like there's a lot of imagery we could make into a really gnarly looking video.
Mm-hmm.
But also we talked about kind of, because I mean it's no real secret that we're trying to kind of, you know, do some little unorthodox kind of things as far as videos.
Trying to have fun.
Yeah. Because, you know, it's at the same time, and that's what I like so much about this project, or this, you know, just this band, and, you know, everybody, is that we're very passionate, we're very serious about, you know, the music and you know, everything that goes into that. But as far as like, you know, personality wise, and as far as like, you know, how we want to present ourselves and come off with things, like we just, you know, I feel like we want to kind of mix the two sides.
Yes.
You know, as far as like, you know, all the performance stuff, but also have a few videos that are a little off the cuff and a little kind of like just fun to watch.
Well, I mean, it's probably fun to do too, like, cause I'm not gonna lie, like once the curtain was pulled back for me and I actually learned how music videos are made, I'm like, I would never want to do that. Like, I would never want to stand there and fake sing the song for the camera. You know what I mean? Like, that sounds fucking terrible to me.
Yeah.
So doing it in a fun way, doing something different, I really support that. I think that's a really look. When I can tell the band is enjoying what they're doing, I enjoy it more. Like if I watch a video and I can tell you guys are having fun, I'm gonna be having fun watching that video. And that's going to make me like it a lot more than just in a dark room, a bunch of quick shots up close of everybody pretending to play a song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because once that curtain is pulled back for you and you realize, it's like when you're watching a TV show and they're like in a crowded bar or a crowded room that has it's supposed to have loud music playing, and you realize that loud music is put in after. And when when all the actors are standing in that room like during actual filming, everybody's quiet.
Yeah.
And they're just pretending to be in a loud room. And it really kind of fucks those scenes up for you a little bit once you learn, you know, once you see how the sausage is made, you're like, I don't really like it. I don't really like it. So you guys having fun with it, and look, you guys, this is something you gotta, that I think sometimes maybe we forget. Like, you're a metal band from fucking Michigan, from Lansing, Michigan. All right? Michigan is nothing if not, what would the word, it's not like, what's the word for like patriotic for your own state?
I was going to say, I'm not sure if that, I was kind of going to say the same kind of similar thing, but we have a lot of pride.
We have a lot. People from here love being from here.
Yeah.
So if you put their town in a fucking music video, any metalhead in Lansing that sees that, even if they don't like the song, they're going to like the video. I know.
Yeah.
You know, just for that reason. I know. I'm one of them. Like 100%. I like that fucking. I will always have respect for Hailstorm for shooting their video at the machine shop.
Oh yeah.
Always have respect for them for that. I like King 810 just because a lot of their shit is filmed in Flint. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking. It's. I definitely have that. I have a very special affinity for any band that makes it big from Michigan. Dahlia, Battlecross, you know what I mean? Alice Cooper, fucking Eminem, fucking, you know what I mean? Anyone that makes it big from here. I have a very Stevie Wonder, you know what I mean? I have a very I love them. Like those artists on a closer to home level than a lot of others, you know what I mean? Like it's a different kind of fandom. It's a weird thing, but we do that here in Michigan. It's something that we do. It's almost like it's almost like we think we're from Texas or something. Like we're so fucking into being from Michigan. You know what I mean? We're so fucking into it.
Yeah.
Like we love it. So
we have our own slang, like all
yeah,
this other
we have
stuff.
our own
like,
fucking little language up here. We say pop. You know what I mean? Like you know, like. Fucking, don't you know? We got our own, like, we know how to pronounce Mackinac and Charlevoix and fucking shit like that. Charlevoix has an X in it, for anyone who doesn't know. That word has an X in it. So
don't ask me to explain it, because I can't.
Nope.
Doesn't make any sense to me. Never has, but it's the way it is.
Like, we love this shit. So to, I love it when bands do that stuff, but I don't feel like they ever capitalize on it enough. I always feel like a band will do like one thing that's from here, like for like they'll film one video or whatever, and that'll be it. And it's like, oh, well, they did that one thing once, but no, I think like if I were you guys, which is the stupidest thing I could say to someone in the band, but fucking. Like I would really capitalize on that and like fucking
ideally though.
First live video you ever shoot it at the max. Shoot it at the loft. You know what I mean? Like that just that little stuff, those little nods. You know what I mean? Really go a long way for a fan like me. I don't know how many fans there are like me. I could be just talking out of my ass. I'm probably sound like an idiot. But I've only ever fucking been in one very unsuccessful band that we played 3 shows, and most of them were in people's backyards.
Well, to me, I feel like when you do, because there have been a lot of bands that have done videos at venues around here. Like there's been a lot of videos that have been at Loft. There's been a lot of ones that have, Max especially.
What? Whose? I've never seen one.
Oh wait, that was at Sanctuary. I'm sorry.
So, who did one at Sanctuary?
I think Carnus did their last one.
Ooh. Yeah. I'm going to have to check that out. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's sick.
I know.
Shout out to Carnus Immortalis.
Oh, yeah. I think No Life's done a few videos at the Loft and all that stuff.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that. Your heart sick.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, I could see that. I love No Life Heartsick. Mass respect for them, but I've never really been terribly into the mix because they do the singing. I've never been that into it, but they were on Mayhem Fest one year. You know what I mean? I fucking support them. I've met Alfonso, the lead singer, more than once.
Dude's
around
awesome.
Town. Yeah. He's a great guy.
He booked a few of the first shows I ever played.
With Medica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Magnolia.
Yep.
So
yeah.
No,
he's a great guy. So I will always have love and respect for them. But I don't think I've ever seen any of their videos, to be honest. But I've seen them live a million fucking times, I'll tell you that.
Great live show.
Yeah, they do a great live. Dog, they have a lot of fucking energy. They are really fun to watch live. Outstanding. But yeah, anybody else? Because I'm genuinely curious. I didn't know anybody really filmed videos here in Lansing. Like, you see it. As a fan, right now, I'm like, who filmed? I'm excited. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that is, and I've even heard people mention, that's where it was, when I was at when I was at Oigs Fest. People were asking me where you guys were, and we were talking, we were talking about the Flesh video, and, dude, they were just jazzed as fuck that it was all in Lansing. Like everybody loved it. Like everybody that I talked to saw the video, loved the video, and was like I knew exactly where they were every single time the camera switched, and it was awesome. It was like I've been there. Like holy shit. Like we love that.
Yeah.
We love that as fans. So
That's so cool to hear.
dude,
glad.
it was a real special. That was a real special night. Yeah, and it made me go, holy shit! When they play a Lansing show again, it's gonna be crazy, like crazy, because they're. It's look, we. Because how do you gauge that? How do you know? There's no way to know that. But when you go out, when you go to these local metal shows and you talk to people and you see people walking in with Bog Wraith hoodies on, you're like, it's we have it's like a quiet, untapped scene here in Lansing, but it's here. It's quiet, but it's here. Yeah. So you don't know. But it exists, and fucking yeah, like I think there are a lot. I think you guys got a lot. I think you have more fans here than you realize. That's what I gathered from that night. Yeah. I was like, holy shit, like this is crazy. Like first of all, I can't believe it. Anybody was new Lost in the Dark podcast, and then on top of that, they're fucking talking to me about Bog Wraith, and it's like there's something going on here. There's something going on here that I don't think we know about, and and I think the only way to know about it is to keep going to these little shows and to talk to everybody we can talk to, and. Yeah, I think there's something going on here.
Yeah, man, like that's one of the things that I really want to get in the habit of is because I'm all right. Well, I guess to back up, I'm weird and I like to watch a lot of vlogs. I spend a lot of time on YouTube watching vlogs and stuff, and so I've always kind of wanted to like start one as far as like when we do like practice days and like show days and stuff. But I was thinking like, you know, like take the best parts of each kind of segment and stuff. And put it into a video and everything because, like, to me, I've always like, I guess you know to kind of preface this, like, I've always been somebody that's been, I guess, a little bit on the fence about just social media in general. Like, it's always been kind of a hard thing.
You and I are both. It's hard for me. Yeah. You and I are both introverts. Like,
extremely.
We don't like to. I don't like. Post it. You want to know why I look angry in almost every selfie? Because that's like the 80th one I've taken because the phone keeps falling. Like most of them are like mid-fall. Yeah. Like most of the ones I take are mid-fall because the phone keeps falling on fucking hands and shit. Like we hate taking selfies. We hate taking videos, especially of ourselves. 9 times out of 10 we feel like we don't have anything to fucking say. Like why the fuck? You know what I mean? Yeah. But then when we actually post one, you're like, holy shit, a lot of people watched this. Like. Yeah. And it is a hard for us, for me, for you, definitely. It's hard for both of us to like be that social media entity that would ultimately, I think, be good for the podcast, the band, everything, us as individuals, like just kind of breaking us out of our own shells a little bit more. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I feel like this podcast is done. I mean, shit, go back and listen to the first few episodes. We barely say very much, and now we're just constant stream. You know what I mean? Yeah. We've gotten a lot better at it, and
stuff. So good.
No.
I was gonna say it's definitely been between doing this and over the last couple months, like doing the Twitch stuff.
You guys have been killing it with that,
man. Yeah. Like if just I'm so. Just the fact that anybody would even like tune in to like watch us practice like any other band.
I think it's awesome.
Is like
it's such a good idea. Dude.
Yeah,
it's crazy. You just hit on something that I didn't even fucking think of. That like because I watch tons of Instagram stories of people that I like. One thing, and I love it when bands do a lot of Instagram. So Dahlia's great at it. Rumbo Jumbo and Trevor and the Dahlia thing itself. Yeah. They're fucking great at it. But one thing they don't really do is something you literally just said. Like, on something like the day of a show. From the moment you wake up, just all right,
Mm.
here we fucking go.
Mm.
First video done. Get up, take a shower, get ready. Fucking all right. Now I'm going. If you gave fans a behind the scenes video on the day of the show, leading up to the moment you guys essentially start playing and shit, like, oh, that's gold. That's gold for a fan. That would be gold if I saw that. Like, nobody else is doing that. Like that's gold for a fan. Like that's fucking.
Mm.
That's content that only someone in your position can do. That's a very unique thing. You know what I mean? Or even when you go to fucking do the Twitch stream, show us what the fuck. Because we only see the people that view the Twitch stream. I've watched a number of them. Fucking, we get the one camera angle. Show me what the room looks like. You know what I'm saying? Like that'd be cool. You know, behind the scenes is shit that you guys are already doing. That's fucking, yeah. That's something you could do right there. That's a cool.
Yeah.
That as a fan, that'd be cool. That'd be something cool that I'd like to see.
Well, one of the big things that it's kind of opened me up to is realizing that, you know, like shouts out to everybody that just enjoys our shit, you know, enjoys our music and just, you know, will go out of their way to listen to it. Like that's amazing. And the fact that, you know, some of you guys would even like show up to just like say like watch our practices and just kind of like hang out and like send us stuff in the chat and everything. Like it's, you know, like it's really kind of changed my perspective as far as, you know, how I want to just be more involved with what's happening with, you know, with I guess all aspects of my life really, but you know, this included. But with, you know, speaking in terms of like Bog Wraith stuff, like just being able to, you know, talk to people like that and just kind of, you know, like send things back and forth and just to be accessible like that. Because I remember, especially like growing up, always wanting that kind of like, you know, like, oh, like if I could, you know, I would have never thought like, you know, I could be best friends or like, you know, get to know somebody on like a personal level that I'm really into like what they do creatively and like they've, you know, like musically and stuff. And I feel like, you know, with the state of things, I feel like a lot more bands are going to be kind of jumping on that train of live streaming, you know, doing that kind of thing to support themselves. And
it's such a good idea, dude.
It's like, really changed my mind as far as how you interact with people and how you get your, you know, your art out there and your music and everything. It's
imagine if there was a camera running during, you know, the practices during the recording for Ashes of the Wake or Nocturnal or fucking, you know, Last Kind Words or any of these fucking classic albums. You know what I mean? That's what you're providing right now. You guys do save every video you make on there, right?
Yeah.
Thank fuck. 'Cause that's going to be in a goddamn documentary one day.
Yeah.
Like, that's such important footage. It's oh, dude, like save everything. Like it's so, yeah, because yeah.
It's funny you say it because I like the other night I was kind of laughing about it to myself because it's very much like any sport really. Like you know, after every game, you know, you watch the tape. You watch the tape over, you watch, you know, what you're doing. And that's like the biggest thing for me is like knowing that like when we're finished a couple hours later, you know, I can kind of watch back and like see, you know, different things I did and stuff. And it changes how I play really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like and ever since I started it's always like record yourself, you know, so because you'll pick up on things that otherwise you wouldn't know before and everything. And it's true. You know, anytime I watch back on anything, like there was a couple of times like when I first started doing it, I just like set up a cell phone and, you know,
I've
like,
seen some
there.
of those.
Yeah. I want to do more of those, but like I was kind of watching and I noticed like hey, maybe I'm like on one cymbal too much during a set. Like maybe I'll change it up a little bit. So the next time I kind of switched it up or whatever, and like it kind of gets me mentally thinking about like different things that I could do instead of just kind of like, going on autopilot just to play. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's fascinating.
Yeah,
That's really interesting.
and it wasn't if I hadn't watched back at it later because I was
it wouldn't have clicked.
yeah I was gonna post it and everything, but like after I was like, man, like I could it makes you realize like I could do better than that. Like I could do a little.
But hold on.
Then
yeah.
you become your own critic.
Well, no. That's not.
Yeah.
You should even be almost, especially because you noticed that you should have posted it, and then because you noticed it, you should have posted it, and then the next video had the fix, so your fans can come along with the evolution. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's it is hard. You get too critical of yourself, but as a fan, I can tell you, and you're a fucking fan of this shit too. Like, you want to see the fucking evolution of the musicians and like all the little fucking change-ups that they make throughout the career to end up being one of your favorite musicians. You know what I mean? So even if you notice mistakes, post that shit anyway, because the next one won't have those same mistakes, but they might have different ones.
Yeah.
They might have different. And it's just part of the fucking evolution. And as I can say, as a fan, it's something that I would really enjoy seeing. If I got to see, the drummer John from the original drummer Devil Driver do that same sort of thing, I would fucking be going back watching every single one of those videos, 100%. Yeah. So as fucking anything from your writing standpoint, drumming perspective, did you personally do anything like real different on this Titan EP?
Well, as far as the creative side of it, and I gotta kind of go back to giving more credit to Julian than probably anybody, because he we were as when we went in to start writing this one, we kind of took a different approach to it and we touched on it a little bit last week, as far as starting just with lyrics and just we just write any kind of concept, let's say loose concepts. So let's say we I have a couple different files in the drive as far as different categories of things that lyric ideas and stuff.
Those files are gold to fans. The record, you might want to post those.
Yeah. Maybe someday.
Does Bog Wraith have a website, or is it just Bandcamp?
We do. Mike is the guy that...
You do have a website?
Yeah.
See, that's the kind of thing you should post on the website.
Yeah.
Because that'd be, just extra cool content like that would be really neat. But anyway.
A lot of that goes on our Patreon stuff for
okay.
people, so,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's neat. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah, that's smart.
So yeah, as far as that goes, I feel like we started off with that because we knew that we were gonna have a little bit of a shift as far as how we kind of released music after Omen, because there was a few things that we did that we weren't really crazy about, timing wise and just everything. It was towards the end of it, it got kind of difficult to to do anything other than be all right, let's just, it's done, it's finished, let's just, why better time than now, basically, what better time than now to do it. So we did that, but this time we kind of took a step back, and then we made a post before we started writing for everything that basically said, we want to release more music during the year. We want to do more, and I remember talking about that, and we, I can't really recall what all the posts said, but basically we wanted to try to release more. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Well, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, do it more frequently and have more stuff to offer than just an album a year or every other year. You know what I mean? So we took to that, and what ended up happening was, Chase and I would write songs, Julian and Chase would write songs, just everybody, would kind of contribute and everything, and but a lot of this, the majority of the songs off of Titan came from Julian. It was a lot of his writing style and stuff, which you can kind of tell. Towards, I think the closest I could compare to it off of the last record was probably Air, because it has that same kind of feel to it. Like I was kind of saying earlier, we like to go at it from a standpoint where we like to put you in a spot mentally and visually. We like to present a lot of different ideas and a lot of things that just get you paint that picture in your head. and not so much to rely on the speed and the blasts and the just the like how busy the music was, because Omen was a very technical release on our side as far as musically. And I feel like this one is that, but it's done in a little bit like there's splashes of it, but it's a little more like groove related, I guess. And so to me, that's kind of where like I come in with everything, because whereas I may not have presented a whole lot as far as the writing process goes, like we were all writing stuff that kind of led to this sort of idea, and now it's going back and figuring out how to add our own personal twist to everything and kind of make things so that live they sound a little bit more like personal than they did. So at least that's how I take it.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
it's kind of a long-winded answer, but
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. But more like I guess on the technical side. Did you is there anything on any of the tracks straight drum wise that you did technically that's in like different stylistically in any way from any previous release? When you come in to Aaronize the drums, as they say,
there's a lot more layers on,
because it feels like
rhythm. There's a little more like sort of
like there's some fucking fill. Like when
Yeah.
I was listening earlier, I was like, "Oh my god,
Yeah.
Aaron, you motherfucker!"
Yeah. Well, and
It's
the
like
thing, the thing that's crazy about like how, because we, I mean, we've done streams of like, both of us writing together and like just writing together as a band and stuff, and it's crazy that, they can basically take, because we've been at it since like 2016, like summer 2016.
Yeah.
And so we've been, playing together enough that I feel like, we were just talking about this the other day, like I feel like they almost know what I'm going to do before I do it. And in that same kind of like return, I pretty much like can hear sort of what they're going towards.
Yeah.
Before it even happens.
Yeah.
Which is why it's like some of these streams are kind of crazy. And like when I was watching back to it yesterday, there was a few points where like we would just sort of like jam and like have these like 2-minute jam sessions, and it would just be like, we'd just be going, and it would just like, it's like, wow, that was cool. Like, yeah.
Somebody record that could work. I'm like,
yeah. So I was like, all right, well then there's this song and stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. It was as far as like the changes and stuff. You'll notice there's a lot less like blast on it. It's a lot less. It's a lot more about like the groove.
Rhythmic groove.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it's more about like the feeling of what you're hearing overall, instead of having one instrument be over like, and that's what I really enjoy about it, is that it's very like, because we as far as like influence wise, I feel like we're all pretty varied, but we all have those common bands, and a lot of them don't really, I mean, like, I don't know, we're all pretty big fans of like slam, like super, just dumb, like really heavy stuff for no reason. Caveman slam. Yeah. The stuff to like, yeah. And there's always been a time and a place for that in the band.
Absolutely.
Like there's always musically there's always gonna be that, and like the blackened, deathcore elements of it and stuff.
Pure Michigan black metal.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just like it's cool to hear that sort of progression in the sound, because that's something that I was never really like when we first started doing this. I kind of made clear that like as much as I enjoy playing super fast blast beats and super fast kind of stuff, like there's something about when the drums just like add that extra piece to it and just like complement the music more than just being this like just this thing that's always there. Like I like it when drums like work with the music rather than being its own, like just having that instrument just be there just to like keep the timing of it, which is what it's there for, but it's also like you can do a little more with it than just
so much more.
Yeah.
No, yeah, like that you just hit the nail on the head. That didn't pop into my head until you said it for some reason. But this, yes, you're right. This album the EP really is. These tracks are full. That's what I was trying to get at. They're full bodied. It's not a single standout instrument or vocal performance. It's all working together. It's like a fucking pocket watch. You know what I mean? Like all the intricate pieces are working together, and it comes together. It works, and for exactly I feel like what you guys are going for is fucking.
The coolest part about it was, and I'm gonna kind of go back to the writing process because I feel like I kind of touched on it and then didn't really say much about it.
Yeah.
But you know, we basically up to this point just kind of decided like let's just write as much as possible.
Fuck yeah.
Just to have all that, and all the one of the coolest things is that like the stuff that, you know, or at least a few of the songs that Chase wrote, and like, you know, at the time, like just the ideas that we were writing didn't really sound like what ended up on the EP for different various reasons. So this one could have a totally different vibe and a feel than the next one.
Yeah.
You know, the other one. So I feel like it's cool that we've given ourselves that freedom to kind of not really stick with one sound, but we've always kind of had the same like core elements of everything. Like we've always known that basically if it sounds like a Castlevania song, we're on the right track.
Fuck yeah.
So, but well, that and just I don't know. Like I feel like at this point we know well enough what all of us are capable of that I don't feel like it's really any question of like, you know, other than me just like being the negative downer that I was, like questioning whether or not I could like play any of these songs towards the end of it. But you know, that's just being a musician.
Can.
Yeah,
you clearly can.
So I mean, we all add different portions of it to what is the, you know, the overall release of it, and this just ended up being the sound that we wanted to go for, and I feel like more so now than ever. You know, maybe there'll be a little bit more of this kind of style into it to kind of change things a little bit. More of a heavier atmosphere than a just punch you in the face like brutality kind of thing.
And so, I'm at least okay. So it was. Correct me if I'm wrong. You guys released the full length Omen, and then the single Monsters, and now this.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yep.
Okay. So.
Well, there was the
Redux Viscera in there.
But
too.
I wouldn't.
That was just like a. Did you guys re-record anything for that?
It's completely redone. It's all remastered and stuff. So.
But is remastered the same as re-recorded? Or do they did Alex, Julian, and you and Mike and Chase actually re-record the actual? Did you actually play the notes?
Yeah.
So it's so it's actually a re-record.
It's like reworked. It's hard to explain. Like how do I even? It's
I don't know how it works.
So we wanted to refresh it sort of.
Yeah.
So we took, and a lot of it was done in a similar sort of way that Titan was, as far as like, you know, reamping things and resampling stuff and
But is it just done from like Julian's technical side, or were there?
It's a little
So, but were there any re-records of any instruments, or did he just take all of the original recordings and rework them?
Most of what you're hearing is the like
original recording reworked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like remastered sort of. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Remastered. Yeah. So it's not like re-recorded, but re-remastered. So the only
remixed, I guess.
Remixed. Yeah. So in terms of recording actual, not even new but fresh tracks, it was Omen, Monster, and this.
Yeah.
Monsters and this.
Yeah.
And now I'm under like the last couple times I've seen you and Alex and watch the streams, you guys are working on new material now.
It's
or at least a new track.
Yeah. Well,
You were
we've
writing one on live on the stream.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's something that started off as because we initially went into it with, well, we can't, unfortunately we can't always be in the same room at the same time all the time, but we want to stream a couple times a week just
Absolutely.
to have that, to keep that momentum going.
And you should. It's a great idea.
Yeah, I've been really enjoying it. And so to keep, like, since we can't always, like I was saying, like be in the same room at the same time, schedule wise. I mean, anybody knows that shit happens all the time, especially between 5 people.
Yeah.
But so we wanted to find a few things that were kind of unique and different to, like, kind of the ins and outs of the recording process and just like how we write songs. And so instead of doing just live stream stuff from the practice space and doing all that, we decided to kind of start like writing some songs like live on stream, and then
Brilliant.
figuring out how to kind of make them unique, or like topics and stuff. And so the one that ended up happening was somebody brought up like orcs, basically. So that became the topic of the song. So we just started working on that for the last few weeks, and we just finished up. I just added drums to it last week, so you can kind of see that. And we were doing all the the packaging for the pre-orders and stuff. So that was last week's.
The stream, yeah.
And then there's other times where, like, sometimes Julian will be doing writing stuff or production stuff, and we'll be doing other, like, kind of like looser stuff, like like playing games or something. Like,
But
we'll have, like, we'll do like a day that's like kind of like off the, not so much like recording stuff, but just like hang out kind of stuff. So
is that song though at some point gonna come to fruition to the point where I can download it on iTunes?
it'll be, I think it's on our Patreon right now.
Okay.
Or
Wait, so it's done?
It's yeah. I'll have to show it to you. As
It's
far
not-
as I
it
haven't
is
shown
done?
it to you, yeah.
It's done? Oh shit. So you guys just when did you post it to your Patreon?
I could be wrong about this.
It might not be done.
I don't. Well, we added drums to it, and as far as I know, like that's as far as we got with it. So I don't think it's done.
Okay.
But it's
not final mastered yet.
Yeah. What I meant more was the overall idea of the song is finished, but the production side and everything else is still being worked on.
But it is something that will be released.
Yeah, eventually. Yeah. We want to
see. That's so awesome. You wanted to what though?
We wanted to keep like that steady stream of things.
A momentum.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's exactly. That's why that's awesome. You guys just dropped this EP. It's available on physical copy. Like, it's a 5-track EP. It's a very real thing. Like, and you already got something else fucking in the chamber ready to get shot out.
Yeah.
So that's great, dude. That's fucking. That's exactly the kind of thing that the stream should be, doing the stream constantly should be producing for you guys. It's just more material, more content to be released. And I think that, I think that's a great thing. I also think it'd be awesome to do another fun-ass video like that. Not like the last one, but something different, but still in that same fun vein.
I've always been a fan of bands that do videos that are kind of like I said, like out there, and like weird sort of things.
Statutory 8.
Yeah, don't really have anything to do with the song.
No, it's just fun.
That, and I feel like we kind of took a look at a lot of everything else that was happening as far as like all the current trends and stuff in heavier music and just the art of being a band and stuff, and kind of saw some things that it was like, it's cool to have that performance video, but it's like, well, we've done that.
Yeah.
We did that video. We kind of changed some things, like, okay, like we took a couple of, we had some big shows that we've played since we've been a band and everything. We kind of done that, and now we sort of looked inward at this one, and we're kind of like, well, how do we kind of do things a little bit differently so that we can kind of, keep that, because we it's not really too much of a stretch to see that things are kind of shifting as far as how artists and how bands are doing things. And so we kind of took that as a hint and just kind of like what we were seeing around and realized like we could do something different. Like we could, kind of push ourselves to, give everybody else, not so much the people that were around to, around the area to see us, but further than that, the online presence and everything, just giving people that access to like see shows from us where we can't really get right now.
Yes.
And then eventually kind of building that up to be able to reach out to those people and stuff. So it's, I don't know. I think, and especially with the way things are going currently, I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot more traffic on live streaming.
Yeah.
Not doing.
Who the fuck knew that, like, is actually.
It's wild.
You guys are ahead of the game right now in the live streaming because all the live shows are getting canceled.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are ahead of the curve right now with that one, that's for sure.
But as far as, just personally, man, like, I've been doing a lot of, just looking at just things that I want to change and do differently and just be better overall at, and
more involved. Yeah. More of a public personality.
Yeah. Instead of just,
And what's hilarious is that there is no fucking 30-second Instagram video you can make that is more revealing than the hundreds of hours that we have done on this podcast already. And you and I both are still like, I'm not sure. But even then, like even with the last dude, the next you, me, and Alex sat down here and recorded that last episode. The next morning, when I was driving to work, I thought of 8 fucking things I should have brought up, and I didn't.
Yep.
I was like, you fucking son of a fucking bitch.
Yeah.
Like, it's constant evolution. It's constant improvement. And it's, that it pisses me off that I didn't think of those things. But it's also like, all right, I got room to get better. Like it's, and that I look at that as a motivator. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And it's funny. It's just so funny. It's so funny to me that you and I, we've been going for 2 hours. Like this episode alone is more revealing about our personalities than anything we can do on Instagram or Facebook. And yet we're so nervous about fucking going that route as opposed to just sitting down in a room with each other and microphones. Yeah. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, that was the whole entire purpose. Like, that's why I started this podcast, is because I just wanted to capture the conversations that I have with my friends that I think are awesome. And I don't care if anybody listens. I just want them for me. And it's selfish, but I don't care because I think they're awesome.
Yeah.
And this is definitely, like, this exact conversation we've had tonight is an example of that. Like, it's fucking... That's the thing. It's for us, it's almost at... Not even close to as good, but like at least sort of scratches a little bit of that live concert itch, because how often do you get to sit down across a table for 2 hours straight with another metalhead and just talk about metal? You know what I mean? The one thing we love more than anything in the world, we almost never get to just go off about it in our day-to-day life, because nobody else that we're around fucking gets it on a regular basis. You know what I mean? Like, we're around each other a lot, but we're not around each other every day. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, and it's, every once in a while I'll get a little thing, like my boss is a big Rage Against the Machine fan. So when the Rage tour got announced, him and I got to geek out together a little bit about that and stuff. But on a day-to-day, it's very rare. That's why we love the Jasta show so much, and the fucking Let There Be Talk. Dean Delray just had Brian Posehn on, and Brian Posehn just released an album, Grandpa Metal.
Yeah,
shout the fuck out, dude.
That's awesome,
dude. I gotta say, like,
I listened to a little bit of that episode. I don't know if I ever finished it.
It was a good one.
Yeah,
and
it was good.
Posehn's about to be on Jasta's show. He said at the end, I don't know if you heard the Howard episode.
Yeah.
Yep. But he said at the end of that, good episode.
Yeah.
Really great.
I always like the ones he does with Howard.
Yeah, they're just best friends, and I love it.
Yeah.
It's the fun, man.
Yeah.
It's the fun. It comes through.
Mm.
And dude, though, like one, there's a lot of guests that if we ever got on this podcast, I would freak out about. One of the biggest ones I would freak the flying fuck out about is Brian Posehn.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie. Like,
I've just been in everything.
no, but
like,
dude, here's the thing: is that on those like VH1 countdown metal shows and stuff that like I grew up on, and that's how like I found my way into metal and like learned the social norms of metal and stuff like that. Brian Posehn was on a lot of those. Like, he obviously has no way of knowing this, but he had such an insane impact on me as an individual and my heavy metal coming upness. Like, he was the first one who I have literally, he was the first person who like pointed out in one of those shows how important it was to have the Iron Maiden tour shirt. And like how he had Iron Maiden, Megadeth written, like drawn out in the correct font on all of his school notebooks. Dude, as soon as I saw that, what the fuck do you think every single one of my school books looked like?
Yep.
Covered in that shit because of him, because he said something about it on one of those shows. I started wearing all the only tour shirts because of him. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know that shit before I saw him say it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He had such a giant fucking impact. It's crazy when I go back and think about it. Like, holy shit, Brian Posehn like almost taught me how to be a metalhead, like through those shows.
Yeah.
And he has no idea. You know what I mean? And I don't know if anybody else watched those shows or like went through that like I did. You know what I mean? But like I did. That was my thing. And yeah, Brian Posehn, giant influence on me. Giant. And I love his comedy. I love all the, Jim Florentine, Jim Brewer, obviously,
yeah.
and Brian Posehn. The metalhead comedians are the best, man. Slay. Like,
some of my favorite bits. Yeah.
Absolutely, dude. That's one of the greatest stand-up comedy bits of all fucking time. Oh my god, tears every time I see it. So fucking funny.
It still gets me when he compared the t-shirt lines.
The Iron Maiden to the Wiggles. Yeah. Not wrong.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Not wrong at all. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
They got a giant robot that comes out on stage. Like, not wrong.
Yeah.
Not wrong. But we lose our fucking minds. It's like someone sort of throwing money into the crowd. Like, we just lose our minds when we see that shit. I don't need to explain it. It requires no explanation. You either metal headbanger's journey. You either fucking feel it or you don't.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, and that's that. It either makes the hair stand up on the back of your neck or it doesn't. And that's the litany test. That's the fucking test. Does it make you feel more alive than anything else on this earth? No? Okay. Well, then you're not as into it as I am. Yeah. Like, that's all it is. Yeah. Like that, and that's fine. That's fine. And you know what I love is when I find somebody else's thing. When somebody introduces me to their thing that makes them feel the way I feel about metal, like even if it's something like totally not metal, like I fucking love that. I relate to that and like get it. Like somebody else being excited about something can get me into it. The same way that metal, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. You said that a few times, and I always think about just, because I feel like in finding that kind of appreciation for it, you start to give, you start to have a little bit more of an understanding for, everybody else, and for, you're a little more like sympathetic to like, even though you don't get it, it might not be your thing, you still understand it because
you can relate on a level. You can relate on the passion level.
Yeah, because my thing is not your thing, and your thing, what you're into isn't necessarily what I'm into. Maybe, but
I can appreciate it.
yeah.
And you know what I found is when I take that approach to things, people are more open to trying to be appreciative towards metal.
Yeah.
And if I can do that, if I have the ability to someone who is totally turned off by the idea of heavy metal, if I can make them go, oh, well, maybe I don't totally like it, but maybe I can start to appreciate what it does for these people.
Yeah.
That moves the needle. Like that changes the game. It changes the zeitgeist. And it can I don't know. It's art. And I feel like if people can understand the way this art makes us feel, then they would get it. Like even if you don't like it, the art, I feel like you could be empathetic towards the way it makes the fans feel and what it does for us.
Yeah.
And if you could be empathetic towards that, then you can kind of, on some level, sort of get it and be like, oh, well, then it's not something, it's not negative at all. Like, I know on the surface we're all in black and we're all like, hey, hail Satan, and fucking, you know what I mean? Like, all that shit, but it's...
Well, you can always take from it whatever you want, as long as, if you're looking for it. You know what I mean?
Can,
in a weird
right,
kind of way.
You can easily just look at the surface of it and see it as something negative, but then scratch that surface and really look at what's going on here. It's art that is reflecting the darker parts of society more often than not. A lot of times, it literally is just a horror movie and a song. And that's no different than everybody's watching The fucking Outsider right now by Stephen King on HBO. Great show. Yeah. But it's a horror show. Everybody loves horror movies. A lot of metal is just a horror movie. Cannibal Corpse, you know what I mean? But a lot of it lately, like the bands that we've been talking about lately, Fit for an Autopsy, Thy Art is Murder, Heaven Shall Burn. These are all very politically motivated bands with that are standing up against things like climate change and animal cruelty and cattle decapitation. Jesus Christ, they were a vegan death metal band. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of these giants, the bands that we're considering giants right now, because they are in our community.
Yeah.
They're not that just the horror movie in a song. It really is art reflecting darker parts of society.
Yeah.
And a lot of people like to shy away from that, but it, for whatever reason, makes us feel more alive than anything else in existence. And we gravitate towards it. And it's because we see it. And you know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of metalheads, like, I don't know. I don't want to make any generalizations. But, like, when I see the community moving towards that kind of stuff, it makes me go, well, I need to fucking recycle more. And I'm never really littered. I've never done that, but makes me feel like I should fucking start. If the community's stepping up, then I'm part of that community. I need to be too.
Yeah.
That's, you know what I mean? So.
Well, I guess kind of going back to that, with all like the community stuff and just wanting to be kind of more vocal about things. And I hope this makes sense to go back to it kind of in this way. But oh God, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So there are people that take it as serious as as probably more serious than you do.
Oh,
sometimes.
Fuck yeah.
And sometimes when you're a part of that, it's very much like, oh well, if everybody else does, then like why don't I take the things that everybody else takes seriously more serious? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's that sense of like community a lot of times,
and it's not, and we gotta be careful here. There's a distinction between this community that we're in, and like just general like tribalism.
Yeah.
We're definitely in a. It is metalhead is definitely tribalism. There definitely is that element for sure to it, but it's not. To me at least, it's never been a toxic tribalism. We've always been very inclusive. I've never fucking, you know what I mean? Like there's never. To me, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm ignorant. Maybe there's something I'm missing. But to me, it's always been the sound of the oppressed, and it comes from blues. It comes from classical. It comes from these rock and roll. You know what I mean? Sounds of the oppressed more often than not. Blues especially. And that's what it's always kind of been to me. So to me, it's always been something that if you hear it and you like it, then you're in. That's as inclusive as you can get.
Yeah.
Outside of the fact that we make it really hard to listen to for some people.
Yeah.
But hey, that's the thing. And fucking that's the point. Like, it's hard music. It's heavy music. It's not ever going to be on the radio, generally speaking. And there definitely is a sense of tribalism to it, but it's also it is a community, and when things we've seen it time and time again. The metal community has stepped up in support of whenever a band gets in a bus crash, you know what I mean? Massive support, unbelievable support, and I really genuinely hope we see that with these tour cancellations and stuff like that. Like this. The metal community has always been one to step up, and there kind of is that sense of tribalism, but it's not exclusive or toxic, and at least it never has been to me. I've never witnessed that.
Not so much.
I've witnessed the exact opposite, in fact.
Oh yeah.
Like many times, and I feel like we're seeing that more so now than ever.
Yeah.
Like especially with these bands trying to bring awareness to social issues and things like that. It's happened for a long time. I mean, Megadeth, look at Megadeth.
Well, I mean,
the system has failed.
Yeah.
Fucking peace sells, but who's buying?
Yeah. Times change, and I feel like it was kind of what I said something about it last week, as far as like, it's the only genre where you can really pick out certain things from history, where it it just changes things a little bit. You know what I mean? Like there's certain things like different like points where you could tell it was a little more like we were going through a little more than like a couple years before or whatever. So the sound changes.
You're right. I forgot you brought that up. Yeah. That was an amazing point. Like I literally forgot about that until just now. Yeah. And that's an amazing point. Like, yeah, you really can kind of point to because that's the thing is a much smaller percentage of metal bands versus any other genre of music have ever made it big, right? Quote unquote.
So
I feel like 99.9% is too small, but 100% is obviously impossible. But somewhere in between there is where all metal bands are in terms of being successful, like mainstream.
Yeah.
Successful.
You can always stay so underground until you kind of cross over, and then there's those kind of.
But I mean, even like look at, Cannibal Corpse is never going to be as big as Slayer. They are to me.
Yeah.
They are to me, but to the public, they're kind of not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In terms of record sales and ticket sales and the venues that they play, when Cannibal Corpse finally goes on its farewell tour. I can't believe those words just came out of my mouth. I've never thought that before. Cannibal Corpse will never go away. What am I saying? This is craziness. But if they ever were to, I doubt the show would be at DTE. You know what I'm saying? Like Slayer was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's kind of the point I'm making. I kind of forgot where I was going with all this, but it's just like,
Been at it for a while. I'm kind of there too.
yeah, you know, we're Jesus Christ, I really don't know. But we are lucky to be part of this community. It's always to us been an inclusive thing and a good thing and a positive thing. And I just it's always been good to us for sure.
Yeah.
Like it's if not, then we wouldn't still do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we wouldn't be wearing the fucking shirts that we're wearing and the fucking, the gear and the fucking albums and the fucking you making it. Like
Yeah.
you're literally making it. We're literally making a podcast about it. Like how much we love it. Like
Yeah.
it's and we're going through a crazy fucking time right now. And now's the fucking time to be supportive of everything.
And also just to create shit, man.
Create.
Like, that's something that, as I've always been. I mean, it's undeniable that the best art and the best music ever has come from times of great desperation and some
Turmoil.
of the darkest places.
Pressure makes diamonds.
Yeah. And
Don't forget that.
And with all this happening, like, the best way, like, and this is kind of tapping into the mental health side of things, I guess, but like for me, but like the best way that you could possibly pull yourself out of something like that is to just do like anything creative, and even if you're feeling any certain type of way, like just put it towards something, because that could turn into things that you can't even really see right now. And I wish when I was you always say like, oh, I wish I knew that earlier, but I really truly do, because it probably would save me a lot of time, and I'm still learning that even now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the fact that all of this is happening, like it's fucked up and it's crazy, and nobody really knows which way things are going. But I feel like as long as people still have this thing that we can turn to, more so now than ever,
Mm-hmm.
just to relate to, on
Music.
any level is,
Yeah. Which is why the releases are so important right now.
Yeah.
It is a tumultuous time. It is, like we've been saying, the more we learn about this virus, the less we seem to be worried about it. But also, like, I don't want other people to be worried about it either. You know what I mean? Like, I'm empathetic towards the situation.
Yeah.
And
well, and you either adapt to it or you.
Well, the music is definitely help. It helps, and it has been for the last few days, where it's like, shit, man, like all this crazy stuff is going on, but like, you sit back and you listen, you put on that good record, and it's you feel a lot better.
Yeah,
that's for goddamn sure.
many a night, especially like this last been a crazy couple weeks.
It's been a crazy week. This week alone has been insane.
Yeah, and sometimes, reality is a little too
and it's
too
pretty
much.
Think about it, dude. We're like, this is truly a moment in history right now.
Yeah.
This is a historic thing that we're living through, and we're sitting here recording a podcast during.
Yeah.
Like this is fucking actually. Like, when you really think about everything that's going on and what we're doing right now, this is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
This is fucking crazy. I mean, yeah.
It just if anything, it makes me, for one, appreciate the fact that it's even possible.
Yeah.
The fact that we can leave our houses right now, because there's places in the world where that's currently not something you can do.
Yeah.
Which is absurd,
Insane.
even right now.
Insane, but it's it's insane.
But also, it's still just, it's a place to put it, because if you don't do something with it, then you slowly kind of start to slip into some crazy crazy not good stuff. So
Yeah, it is possible.
yeah.
And I tell you what, podcasts have been helping just as much as music too. Where it's like you just fucking throw
Yeah.
on a podcast, and it's like, yeah,
Oh, and it's something that I definitely picked up, especially from doing it. Is it's just it's just whatever's going through you at the moment, really, whatever it may be. And lately, it's been a lot of that same sort of thing, and everybody just kind of being like, it's the first time in my life where I've ever seen and like just collectively everybody be like, what?
kind of
Like,
panicking. Yeah,
you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah.
it's, you just kind of look around and everybody's just like, all right, like, where's kind of like,
Where's it going?
yeah, hands up, like, nobody's really at the wheel right now,
Nope.
unfortunately. We're not a political podcast, so we won't talk about that. Nobody's really at the wheel right now, and there's just a lot of just things that nobody's ever seen
Yeah,
ever,
yeah,
and we all just kind of just gotta get through it somehow, and just deal with it, and more so now than ever, like, it's, art is important, music and everything is
I
just,
agree.
because I mean, what else you got? What else is there?
Exactly. Exactly. It is extremely important right now. I think you're right. I think you just hit the nail on the head with that. Like, it's a tumultuous time, and tumultuous times, art is what gets us through more often than not, because it's what gives us life and hope and joy, and it's what makes us smile. It's what makes gives us tingles. The hair stand up on the neck.
Yeah.
It's all those things. It does that. Music especially. It's very fucking. It's everything to us. You know what I mean? To people like you and me, it's everything to us. And yeah, definitely. Like, now, especially more than ever, because yeah, like, I've been fucking on a tear. Like, I've been on a tear, like I got cancer for the last 2 years going to shows, right? Like, I've gone to like 48 shows in the past, like, wait, no, sorry, I said that wrong. I've been to like 24 shows in the past, like, 30 months or so.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, for the last 2 years, I've been nonstop, like, just a crackhead, like, just fucking going ape shit. And so for now, all these shows will be getting canceled. It's been a long time since I've already been to one. The releases are more important than ever.
Yeah.
And every time I get to hear something new that I'm excited about especially in the past week, has been kind of extra special. And that hits with Titan, that hits with Dahlia, that hits with Lamb of God, and then, I'm still obsessed with half the fucking album of the year list, the Death Atlas, We Are Not Your Kind, World War X. Like, I'm still listening to every single one of those albums on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Ordinary Man, Ozzy, finally got here yesterday, and I'm blown away and obsessed with it. Like, the new Eminem album, I didn't really realize it until you pointed it out tonight. But the new releases right now are kind of there's a lot more weight to them right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot more weight to them right now, that's for sure.
Because I had posted something a little bit later, like just before midnight last night, but also just kind of just in thought really about it, because I was just really super giddy and stupid about everything.
Well, you should have been.
Yeah, I still am too, but it was a little bit different. Because every time you like I said, every time you put something out, it's a little bit anxious, I guess. But it's also, even though like you could, I mean, it's kind of going back to, you find out of it what you want.
Mm-hmm.
You take from it what you want, really, as far as like the, what everything's all about and stuff. And like to me, even though it's, there's a lot of songs about, it's kind of fantasy sort of stuff. It's a little like fictional kind of stuff, but it's also, I feel like if you spot as far as like Titan goes, like lyrically and everything, like, it's a lot of it's kind of like crazy, like, over the top sort of stuff, but there's some underlying stuff that I feel like, if you really thought about it and, took it from a real place, then you'd kind of see like, it definitely still hits those points of just more so observation than anything. And it's that dark sound for a reason. Like it's there's a lot of it's not there's a lot to be to feel a certain kind of way about recently, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And sometimes it comes out in a way that's fictional, and it's like, just brutal for the sake of being brutal, but it's also like it has a point, and I feel like if you just look for it from the standpoint of, oh, it's like I can't understand it, or like, this or that or whatever, like you're not only are you missing the point, but you're also missing out on the chance to kind of see things differently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And kind of appreciate it from a different point rather than just being closed off to it just because it's not your thing, I guess. And
absolutely.
Lately I've been kind of trying to see things from that standpoint, just outwardly, than just being closed off to things that just aren't my thing,
Yeah.
Which I feel like we all do, but, more so now than ever. You gotta kind of set yourself aside a little bit sometimes, and just see the fact that somebody else might get joy out of something that you don't, and I might from something that you might not. Even though we're pretty similar on a lot of things. You know?
Absolutely.
So it's you kind of find those things that just help you, get through stuff and just cope, and so.
And that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
What else is there? Yeah.
Yep. And Titan is definitely going to help with that.
So, yeah.
For me, at least, as an individual. Ooh, Titan.
That was
Titan.
Got a little bit heavy towards the end.
A little bit heavy towards the end, but
feeling a little heavy lately. So
you know what? We can bring this ship into dock in a very more upbeat, positive way. Yeah. And you know what? Here, I'll even because I don't know. It's there you go. Here's a little taste. Here's a little taste of a track that you may not have heard yet. I'm sure we're gonna get pulled for this shit. Oh my god! God damn! Oh, Titan! Oh, Titan! There's a little taste for you, motherfucking ear holes. Be sure to pick up Titan. Get that shit, because it's fucking unreal. And play it on good speakers, and you're gonna hear some crazy shit.
I mean, it's like at this point, like let's have a little, let's be a little intimate real quick, okay? Right. If you are still listening to music for the first time over a phone speaker, what are you doing with your life? You know how much you're missing out on? I used to be like that.
Fuck are you doing?
Yeah, I used to, you know what? But when I realized after many hours of feeling like, you know what? I don't get this record. What's this all about? Maybe it changes the way that you hear things. Like, just buy yourself a pair of good headphones, man.
Yeah.
Like, if you can afford an album, if you can afford a phone, you can afford a good pair of headphones.
Halfway decent.
Yeah.
Halfway decent.
Please,
or get a
Lost in the Dark podcast endorses this public service announcement for all of those that need to hear music better.
100%. Get a nice
Please.
little Bluetooth speaker for yourself.
Something, yeah.
Do something. Get a sound bar on the TV. Something to increase the audio. Because, you know what, though? We're probably preaching to the choir because metalheads know this. Like,
it's not like early black metal anymore, okay?
No.
Sound quality's going up. Educate yourself.
On every level.
Yeah.
Like, on every like, it would actually be like even if we were to take this phone, put it in the middle of a room, and record a track just off that, the quality of this phone speaker is better than the one they were using while they were recording true Norwegian black metal. So it would still sound better.
Yeah.
Like,
just please, it's new, it's a new decade. Like, please, can we stop playing? I don't know. Anyway, what was I saying?
You gotta listen to it properly.
Yeah.
Give it the respect it deserves.
Exactly.
Give it the respect it deserves. Is all we're saying.
Yeah. It's a long-winded way of saying this. Yeah.
For Christ's sake. Give it the respect it deserves. Listen to it on something good. Because you will hear shit that you didn't even know was there.
Yep.
It's fucking real. Like, it's fucking real.
I will say, as far as Titan goes, and as far as a lot of our music goes, it's all over the place with little sounds and things that you pick up on.
Yeah.
So like it's all.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, especially with this one.
Yeah.
Which is one of my favorite parts of this.
Yeah. It's got layers.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So be sure. I guess we'll wrap this up. We'll fucking be sure to follow Bog Wraith on Twitch, Patreon.
Twitch TV, Patreon. We got Instagram. We got Facebook. We have a Bandcamp page, which is Bog Wraith MI at Bandcamp.
And they got the lyrics posted for Titan on there.
Not only just for Titan, but for all of our releases, as far as I know. If not, shouts out to Encyclopedia Metallum, or
you guys are on there?
Yeah. Or Genius Music, Genius Lyrics. I'm sure they got you. Shouts out to anywhere you can find lyrics at, because yeah. So yeah. Anyway, Bandcamp, all that stuff's on there. We got merch stuff on there as well. For our Patreon stuff is all we update that pretty regularly. We will be putting a lot more views on our YouTube page. I have a lot more stuff going on up there. We're gonna start doing streaming highlight videos a couple times for all of our streams and everything like that. We've been getting in the habit of posting all of our just most of our streams, most of our past streams on our YouTube channel. You'll see they're pretty lengthy, nice. But it's all like full length kind of stuff, and yeah.
What's the other merch website?
Right now we have stuff up on Crowdkill.
Crowdkill.
Yeah. You'll have to search for us, but we're on there. But yeah. Other than that, Monday, Thursdays, and Saturdays right now are streaming days. Usually we get started about 5 on Mondays and 5. I think it's 5 both days, but on our Twitch page we have all of our our schedule and stuff, so you can kind of see it there for the week and everything, kind of like all the stuff we're working on. So
fuck yeah! So go to the Twitch page, check So you guys will be
come hang out with us, be weird, and request songs and all that stuff on Twitch.
Honestly, I might just. I don't know yet, but honestly, I might just say fuck it and post this tomorrow. I might post this Monday. I'm not sure yet. But if I do post this tomorrow, which would be Saturday the 14th, what time are you guys going to be on today?
We will be, I want to say 5.
5?
We always, the day of, we always give updates. We always give times and everything like that. So if we're not
on your social media.
Yeah. So if you're interested in checking us out on Twitch, also pay attention to our Facebook and stuff, because the day of we always give updates and all that kind of good stuff for what we're doing that day. Because sometimes what's written on the Twitch page is a little different than what we got scheduled and stuff, and so
fuck yeah.
Yeah, just come hang out.
Watch this great band practice and play for you live on Twitch. It's awesome. But other than that, yeah, be sure to check out Lost in the Dark podcast on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Be sure to reach out to us, lostinthedarkpodcast@gmail.com.
We are also on Anchor.
We
No.
are hopefully going to be on Anchor. We have a new podcast host. Shout out to Anchor.
I'm excited about that.
And yeah, I'm
That's really
very
cool.
excited. This episode might be the first episode posted on that service, and then if that goes smoothly, then I'll have to sit down here for an entire fucking day and get to work and post all other 123 episodes on Anchor.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. But right now everything's on YouTube, and yeah, that's about it.
Instagram's been on fire lately.
Instagram's been on fire. And hey, too, reach out to us if you have anything you want to talk to us about. If you're a band, you want us to hear your shit. If you want to be featured on here. If you have any ghost stories, any paranormal experiences. Have you ever seen Bigfoot or Dogman? Please reach out to us. I want to hear your story so fucking badly. It will blow your mind.
We'll feature you on the podcast.
Yeah, we'll feature you if you want to be.
Yeah.
Or if you don't want to be, if you just want to reach out, please. I know we haven't had a Dogman episode in a while. We should probably do one of those soon.
Yeah.
But we did have a ghost. We did have the ghost episode live during a ghost hunt. We did post an episode recently. So check that out. Yeah. That's gonna be about it. I'm definitely gonna do a solo episode next week, and hopefully get you back, maybe even some other members of Bog Wraith, or Recorruptor. Shout out to Recorruptor. Be sure to follow them on everything: Bandcamp, Facebook, Instagram. They hopefully have a show on Sunday, with Origin at the Sanctuary if it doesn't get canceled.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have to go to that.
Yeah, if it doesn't get canceled.
Yeah. That's gonna be gnarly. I forgot they were on that. I also forgot that was that soon.
Yeah, I think it's in 2 days. I think so.
I'll check into that.
Yeah, we'll have to look into that. But be sure to, regardless, Recorruptor, they got an album coming this year. They're playing Metal Fest, and be sure to check them out. Shout out to them. And
big ups for getting on a show with Origin and Defeated Sanity. Man,
fuck
that's,
yeah! I mean, we saw them open for Cannibal.
Yeah.
Outstanding. So be sure to look them up because they're fucking amazing.
The homies.
Das homies.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's gonna be it. We got we got some new episodes coming next week. I'm gonna get the Titan Dark Reflections episode up, and I'm going to get the Ordinary Man Ozzy Osbourne Dark Reflections episodes. Both those are going to be recorded and hopefully up next week, this week, whenever this gets posted. So, yeah, that's it. That's all we got. We talked about everything we got, all the news, all the Titan, and hopefully we'll be even talking more about Titan in the future. But yeah, that's all we got. Got anything else? Nope.
Just
buy Titan.
Flash
Stream
for Flash,
it.
man.
Listen it. Watch the Flash on the Flash video on Slam Worldwide.
If you can tell me, if you can give me timestamps and locations specific for each of the spots that we're in the video, I will personally send you a free copy of Titan.
Oh, shit.
And as an added bonus, if you're correct with all of them, I will get each of us to sign it. You'll get a signed copy of it if you can do that.
Oh, shit.
So.
Oh, shit. We got a giveaway, ladies and gentlemen. We got a fucking giveaway.
I didn't know we were doing this, but we're doing this.
We're doing this.
If you could tell me, this is for all the Lansing people, man. This is for all you guys if you're listening.
The locals.
If you could tell me in each of the shots where we're at, then that's for you. That's up for grabs. So.
All right.
So get to work.
Yep. Get to work, people. And hopefully people listen to this episode all the way to the end.
Yeah.
But get to work, people, because there's a potential free signed copy of Titan.
I'm pulling rank. Nobody else knows I'm doing this either, but we're doing it.
We're doing it. We're doing it. Aaron's pulling rank on this one. Fuck. You know what? If there's any fucking kind of pushback in the band, I will pay the $5 cost for a hard copy for you guys to sign it to cover this. So, any fans listening, know that it's happening. If you can send Aaron, send you personally. So, what's your personal shit? What's your fucking Instagram?
Well,
on Instagram, send it to Aaron Gray on Facebook, or Instagram is
a.aaron, so like a.aron _bw_. So
on
like
Instagram.
Yeah, we'll post it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll link it.
We'll link it.
Yeah.
And send it to him, and you might get a free copy of the new EP signed by the band. Oh shit. That's fucking awesome.
Anyway, yeah.
Fuck yes.
Thank
All
you
right.
for listening. Love and support.
Thank you. Yes, thank
Appreciate
you all so much for listening. Listen to Titan. Keep an eye on Recorruptor. They got new shit coming. And thank you so much if you're listening to this podcast. I cannot thank you enough. It's unbelievable to me.
Oh, yeah.
So let's end this shit. Raise your fucking horns. Bang your goddamn heads. We love you all to death. Good night.